What the heck? Okay, we're gonna watch the shorter one.
Entire thing up.
Which is 35 minutes long.
I don't even know how to intro this
gosh.
video because there's nothing I can say that will actually do the scope of this corruption and diabolical scandal justice.
Yeah, it's so long, I need the summary.
It's around Legos. And I know you probably immediately roll your eyes going, oh, that's probably nothing super crazy. Buster, you don't know the half of it. A YouTuber named Reckless Bin conducted a thorough investigation on a huge Lego-related crime. It is a crazy web of malicious bad actors, shady individuals. It's like the Lego cartel.
He's got cool figures in the background.
I don't know how to do this intro to really lay the foundation in a way that captures the scope because it is that big. So I highly recommend you watch his entire video. I'm going to go over a lot of it here because I have been captivated by this, and this is only part one. It actually, there's more to it, but I think it's only fitting that we start from the very beginning.
I don't understand how it can be so complicated.
What's now known as the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection ever. It's estimated to be worth around $200,000. And then the entire thing got stolen, and the police are actively working with the thieves to cover the entire thing up. But the craziest part is that the collector doesn't even know that his collection's been stolen. Yeah, the collector's son, Brian, well, he reached out to me because he has no clue how to break this news to his dad.
So that's the surface level analysis here. It becomes like a full-blown fucking noir film, though. It gets so deep. But fundamentally, a individual who has spent years and tons of money accumulating an extremely valuable Lego collection worth up to $200,000 of value has had it stolen from him, unbeknown to him, and unfortunately law enforcement has repeatedly shown that they have no interest in investigating this case or helping in any way, and have instead been far more on the side of the dubious perpetrators. And this individual's son has reached out to this YouTuber Reckless Bin because he's just caught in between a rock and a hard cock at this point. Like, there's very few options left since going through the proper channels of, like, the police, who you would expect to, you know, maybe do something about this because it is a crime, it is a big deal. That's a lot of money, by the way. But that was fruitless. They were far more interested in just shooing them away and even threatening to have them arrested multiple times. So Brian, the son,
for reporting their stuff was stolen?
Teamed up with Ben and his team to do everything they could to try and either get him his Legos back, his father's Legos back, or get them the payment that they were due for the Legos, which, a lot of money.
But anyways, the thief of this collection is actually a corporation called Bricks and Minifigs.
Bricks and Minifigs, the biggest toy store of its kind.
Is the largest toy store.
Bricks and Minifigs were not just your average Lego store.
For collectors, Bricks and Minifigs is basically seen as the best and safest way to sell your Lego collections.
I'm selling my Legos.
Now even me, a drooling Cro-Magnon man who is not deep into the Lego community, I've heard of Bricks and Minifigs. They are a big corporation, and I do know that they are considered, or at least were considered prior to this, the gold standard when it comes to selling your Legos. So the fact that they are the corporation that's implicated in this actually was pretty surprising to me, because they're like the only company in this space that I'd heard of. And it turns out, well, might not be all sunshine and titties over there. It may be a lot of malicious bad actors, potentially.
Brian thought that this would be the perfect store to finally sell his dad's Lego Star Wars collection.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
In the contract, it says that these are still the family's Lego sets, but every time one gets sold, the store gets to keep a small percentage of each sale.
This was a store's worth of inventory.
That sounds
so that
normal,
store that day
and having a contract
was
is
nothing
good.
but my dad's collection. Like, all the shelves filled. They had to bring in extra shelves and fill the whole party room with shelves.
But the owner of the franchise, this woman, well, her husband had to actually leave the country due to some work-related reasons.
My husband and I were planning on moving out of the country.
They did everything correct when it came to selling his father's collection to Bricks and Minifigs, so they got his Library of Alexandria of Lego collection. They got the fucking one piece. And basically it was the entire store's inventory. They had to call in the cavalry in order to take it all. And the owner of the franchise, which is that woman right there that is being interviewed by Ben, made a mention that her and her husband were actually planning on moving out of the country. And when she informed corporate about this, they said that, you know what, there is a seller who is potentially interested in owning in that area. And then it went straight down the shitter. It spiraled into some degeneracy where they informed her that they were terminating her franchise agreement. They were threatening to call the cops on her. You're excommunicado here, like it's fucking John Wick. And she made a point to say, you know, this isn't right. This is not comfortable. I'm not leaving without doing inventory. But they wanted her out of there, you know, hit the road, buster. And it's actually backed up by irrefutable evidence.
She was actually able to save all the security camera footage from that night, proving that everything she just said is true.
All the footage and evidence is there. In the security cam footage, it's him at the store kicking her out. In that footage they sent us is Crystal asking him, how am I supposed to pay this guy? These are sets he has not been paid for. The corporation is sitting there on video saying they're going to take it.
After this woman got kicked out of her own store, she called Brian explaining how corporate just came down.
Dude, I don't understand because $200,000 is a lot of money, right? But it could not be worth destroying your whole business over that much. Like if you're a huge company, right? Or maybe they're like not as big as it seems. I don't know. What
is
the
now
hell?
trying to take the world's largest Lego Star Wars collection without paying for it.
I feel like I have to be extremely careful and pussyfoot around what I'm allowed to show, but in Reckless Ben's video, he does show the security camera footage, and it does have someone go in confirming that they are taking on that business, and most notably, a very important thing that is captured on film is him saying that they also take on the consignment. That means that they are legally taking on the responsibility of Brian's Legos.
Yeah.
At least, as I understand it, that's how it seems to be. That is something very important to remember going forward. I mean, how do you possibly wiggle your way out of that one? That's pretty indefensible. It's right there on camera, 4K in the cringe compilation. It feels like checkmate to me, but this is bricks and minifigs we're talking about. These are super villains here. We got some like actual diabolical demons in that food chain.
Some powerful people.
So Brian, the son, reached out asking, well, what happened to the previous owner? And that's when he was informed that, oh, she's gone. She went straight to Valhalla. Corporate's taken this over now. And he was like, okay, well, what about my collection? All that vintage Star Wars that you have in your store right now on your shelves, that's ours. And we haven't been paid for it. We have a contract.
Yeah.
We have all of this evidence of this deal and still haven't been paid. And things soured. They weren't willing to play ball with that, and then eventually it led to Brian and the store here, the new guy, clashing, where he was like, okay, so like what's next steps here? Maybe we go to court. And the guy, according to Brian, crossed his arms, and really, he had an exorcism moment there. He let the mask slip, he let the evil out, and was basically just threatening him, saying like, look, if we go in this route, we are going to basically bleed you dry. We are going to drain the piss from your balls legally, and it will end up costing you more than you would have ever gotten for this collection in the first place. So if that's what you want to do, fuck with your seatbelt. That kind of thing.
What?
And Brian's like, okay, well, what was I supposed to do? Because Brian's father, the owner of this collection, has had health problems, and it's not exactly something they can afford to do, getting into this extremely lengthy, extremely expensive legal battle. So now that brings us to Reckless Ben's involvement here, because there aren't a ton of options for Brian's family. And since that interaction,
I feel like
they have been flooding their social media page with those vintage Star Wars Legos that they still haven't paid for, which feels like they are just gloating and goatseeing, just openly mocking Brian and his father's collection, just insulting the family.
And why are the cops not helping?
But luckily for Brian, a YouTuber ended up catching wind of this story and created a team of YouTubers to do whatever they could to get Brian his Legos back.
This is the full inventory of all the sets and minifigs.
We can figure out how to get this guy his money and his stuff back.
But right after they started, they instantly stopped working on this case. So I called one of them to find out why.
Oh no.
So they were threatening legal action against us. You know, Bricks and Minifigs, which is a pretty big company who probably has way more resources than we can, really put up a fight against.
Bricks and Minifigs knows that they can just bully anyone that tries to expose them with frivolous lawsuits.
So this story here wasn't something that totally flew under the radar. There were people that knew about it. So there was a group of YouTubers that wanted to try their best to get him his money for his collection. But when they picked up the case, they were allegedly threatened with legal action from Bricks and Minifigs, which is something we've seen countless times in the past with these corporations, that when some of the dirtiness starts to hit the mainstream, they then lash out litigiously to silence them, like Reckless says, to bully them into this submission, because they know they have more money and they are going to use that against these YouTubers that don't have the means of fighting against a company of their size. Now, what happens next in the video is something I'm not sure if I'm allowed to share. In Reckless Bin's video, I've noticed he's edited it to have like blurs around the video, but it's not actually blurring anything.
But they must be so pissed now if they were trying to scare all these small, or I don't know how small, like smaller YouTubers into not talking about them with lawsuits. And now one of the biggest YouTubers made a video about it. And you know Charlie doesn't give a fuck, bro. If they try to sue him, he'll probably just be like, okay. Like, whatever. Do it. You're not gonna win. I have money. Whatever. Like, bro, they must be so mad now.
He was trying to with the YouTube editing tool. So I'm just going to describe what happens, and if you want to see it, go to Reckless Bin's video for it. But he actually goes directly to the Bricks and Minifig, 16-hour drive with his friends. He went there and he was wearing the glasses that you can record with, which you've seen a bunch of fucking TikTok pranksters using for nefarious means. But he goes there and he just asks the employee, hey, I'm here inquiring about...
The only person I know who can wear meta glasses and it doesn't piss me off is Esfand. He's allowed to wear them. Everyone else, no. Fuck off. Do not talk to me.
About Brian's collection. He uses the name Brian. And immediately, they've only had like 2 sentences shared between them where he says, hello, and she says, hello, you know, how are you, that kind of thing. And then he says, hey, I'm here to ask about this Lego collection from Brian. And then she instantly says, you need to leave. And then she starts putting up a big stink about how she's being harassed, even though he hasn't said anything else. He's just mentioned Brian's Legos and asked, you know, like, what's the deal with all of that? She instantly starts playing this card of like, he's harassing me, holy fuck! It hurts! And then she gets on the phone, talking about like, check the cameras. This fucking creep psychopath has come in harassing me. All because he's asked about Brian's Legos. She then tried to give him the runaround saying, like, this is corporate, not me. Scram, dweeb, take it up with corporate. But he already went to corporate and he showed more footage of that interaction where they at corporate were saying, well, you got to take it up with her. So they're just giving him the runaround, just sending him on a wild goose chase here, this game of hot potato that nobody wants to actually, like, take responsibility for. Eventually, he does get the owner of that shop on the horn and says, hey, I'm looking to get these Legos back for my friend. And he keeps saying, why do you think you're entitled to our inventory? And then he says, like, hey, look, I have the contract. These are still his Legos. And by the contract that they have, Brian, with this store, seems like they are indeed still his Legos. So he's saying, hey, they're his. And he goes, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Are you an idiot? That's what the owner keeps saying to this guy. And then the police arrive.
Oh
we just have them in the store and we
God.
just like to pick them up, I guess. Because they were going to sell it for us, but I guess they're not selling it for us anymore.
But does it sound like they want you here, right? So they
Well, but they have our sets though, yeah.
I understand that. Right here, the factor is that they don't want you, they're a private owned store, and they don't want you on the front. Okay.
But I don't want them to keep the Lego sets though.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
The police officer literally didn't care at all that the store just stole $200,000 worth of Legos.
Maybe
For
he
some
just
reason,
doesn't
he made it seem
understand.
like I was the bad guy.
Maybe he thinks he's crazy. I don't know.
That's for life, so if you come back...
I mean, cops deal with a lot of crazy people.
You could be arrested.
This part I feel like I can show. This is now outside of the business interacting with law enforcement, so I'm pretty sure this one's okay. You can see this interaction. So the officer shows up because the lady had called the police about all of this, and he is now being trespassed for life. He is blacklisted from entering this Bricks and Minifigs forever, till the heat death of the universe. And Reckless Ben is trying to explain, hey, I'm here because...
Go, like... check the contractor. I mean, I guess it's not his job, but he just instantly assumes that the guy must be lying. I don't know.
We had a deal. They're not selling the Legos, so I'm here to try and get them back. And he's not listening to it at all. He's not even entertaining the idea of, like, maybe he had a reason to be here. Maybe there is something going on.
Brian did warn me that the police are actively trying to cover this up. So Brian and I are now officially trespassed from the store. And if we ever come back to ask for his own Lego collection back, then we are going to be arrested.
Is there, I guess, a reason why they're able to just take all the Legos and not give it back, or?
So, we just gotta leave.
I just have to leave?
So, leave now.
Now, I've watched a lot of body cams. I'm something of a connoisseur of body cams. And this behavior from the officer is a little peculiar because in instances of, like, someone being trespassed, I've usually seen, like, a conversation about, like, what was your purpose here? Like, why were you here in the first place?
Yeah, usually
and he's trying to explain, like, hey, look,
the
they took this from me, like, my friend. And then he's even asking the officer, well, what can I do to get it back then? And instead of answering that question, he's just like, nope, you've just got to leave. Which is odd, because typically, if there is, like, an actual reason for them being there, the officer, in the past, from what I've seen, has guided them to, like, hey, we'll take it up with this department, or we can look into this later, file a report, that kind of thing. The officer's not doing anything like that. He is instantly just shutting that shit down, putting the kibosh on it, just reiterating that you've got to leave. And, like, I understand he was called there solely to trespass him, but even still, he could say, like, we can handle this, you know, through the official channels, through this way, if there is actually a grievance here, but for now, you just have to leave the property. That's how I've seen it handled in the past. Now, since he was trespassed from that location, he went back to corporate and actually talked with the CEO of Bricks and Minifigs. His name is Ammon McNeff, and he just instantly goes liar, liar, pants on fire mode. Again, this is filmed with his glasses here, so I don't know if I'm allowed to show it, but if you want to see it, I guess while it's still up on Reckless Ben's channel, you can go see how this went. But he is now denying that they even have Brian's Legos. He's like, who is Brian? I've never heard of that guy. So then Ben pulls up their social media showing all the posts that they have made about Brian's collection, his vintage Star Wars Legos, showing them that they are literally flaunting it, and even showing, like, where they talk about the value of his collection, showing it to his face that they do have his Legos. So even though he keeps, like, outright denying it, their own social media betrays his words. It then goes the same way it always seems to with these Bricks and Minifigs zombies. This guy actually has a cartoonishly evil mustache. He's got a twirled mustache, and he ends up just saying, you know what, you're wrong, get the fuck out of here, don't know what you're talking about, if you come back, you'll be arrested. So he gets the police on there, and he's basically been trespassed there, so he can't step
Dude, there's no way this is the first time
through a series
they've
of plans,
done this to
gets
someone.
a employee of the store on
I bet, like, most of the time it's probably people with, like, their collection or the value is probably, like, less than $1,000, so they're probably just like, oh, whatever, that fucking sucks, but, like, what am I gonna do? You know, like, this, there's no way this is the first time they've ever
the owner's number
done
and then
something
calls
like
the owner
this.
directly and finally presents the contract to the owner, who is once again doing the same thing the CEO was, saying, I don't know what Legos you're talking about, we don't have these Legos, what are you blabbering about, weirdo? So he sends him the contract, he's like, oh, well, I never signed that contract, there's no signed contract with me. And he's right, because it is the previous owner's name on there. But the thing is, when they took it over, they said that they are taking on those previous business agreements. They are taking on the consignments like this Lego collection that they had from Brian, which they are still actively hawking. They still have it, and they haven't paid for it. So that excuse can't work. I don't feel like there's some legal loophole there when they have taken over this business and agreed to take on these consignments, according to what we have evidence of. So I feel like there's no way that they could weasel themselves out of it, like, actually by law. It feels highly illegal what they're doing. And once again, these brainwashed ghouls at Bricks and Minifigs devolve into the same thing. You're harassing me! I'm calling the cops. So once he is basically, you know, putting the fucking full Nelson here, the contract is there, he tries to claim that's not how the law works. We don't take on the business that we take over. So, like, this previous owner's contract no longer includes us, even though we're still selling that inventory, and even though the contract is still applicable to the business we took over, even though it's just not my name on there, so it doesn't count, which means we don't actually have to pay for this collection that we have an agreement with and that we are still actively selling. You guys are wrong, you're harassing me, and I'm calling the cops. That's how that ends with the owner there. And then Brian talks about how when he tried to sue them, I forgot to mention, the owner, of course, tried to play hardball, saying, well, sue me then.
God,
If that's
I
how the law
feel so
works,
bad
sue me.
for this guy. I feel
Because he
so
knows
frustrated
that as
for
this
him.
big corporation, they have enough resources to drag it out and make it very painful for just the average Joe Schmo. And then Brian starts to talk about how when he did try and sue them, go through the legal channels, it wasn't exactly smooth sailing or easy.
Brian already tried to sue him, and it didn't work.
We've been to a couple attorneys, and they basically spelled it out, saying here's the path that's going to happen if you go down each of these routes. They're now in Spain, so we're getting into that whole international thing just to have them an injunction on the store to have them go back and prove what they sold and not. That's like $60,000 to $70,000.
Yeah, Bricks and Minifigs knows that Brian and his dad don't have nearly enough resources to sue a company as big as Bricks and Minifigs.
It's so crazy.
We're gonna keep these. You're gonna walk away from this. You're not coming back. And if you choose to sue us, we will drag this out in court till it is well past what this collection is worth.
Which is something he touched on earlier with the initial threats that were made against him when he tried to inquire about either the payment for his father's Lego collection, which they have, or getting the Legos back, which they're refusing to do. They have this huge inventory that they have not paid for. They have not fulfilled the obligations of the contract with the store, and he is not getting them back, and they're saying he's not entitled to it. It's so fucking disgusting, man.
Their tagline, because it's boring, and I changed it to "We steal from old people." And now the tagline's actually accurate. Also added a cute little company logo. And this is my plan of how I'm gonna make it into court with Bricks and Minifigs for free. Is where I'm gonna make my grand reveal. You see, this entire time, my company name was actually called We Steal From Old People. Yeah, the words Bricks and Minifigs, that's just the company tagline. In America, there's no specific law that says whether the tagline has to be above or beneath the company name, so I'm just allowed to do this.
So his plan basically became to goad Bricks and Minifig into opening a lawsuit against him under the belief that they've stolen their name. And his Uno reverse card was, didn't steal their name. That's the tagline. The name of the company is actually We Steal From Old People. So he did actually incorporate it. He does have a website for We Steal From Old People, where they're like selling merch and all of that. And I'm not a fucking lawyer. I don't know if that works. In my noodle up here, it feels like since he did take directly their logo, Bricks and Minifigs, it would still probably be a problem. Even if it isn't the name of the company, it's still just being like the tagline and forward facing.
And he's announcing it in a YouTube video too.
On the hook for an issue. I don't really know, but the plan was instead of paying tons and tons and tons in legal fees to sue them, flip it so that way they are paying the legal fees to sue Ben. So that way they can get into court with them and hopefully reveal their shady, potentially illegal business practices. Now, the next sections in the video are highly entertaining to watch, but ultimately don't accomplish the goal of getting Bricks and Minifigs in court.
Silly.
They go back to the CEO, who is now aware of what they've been doing, which was like selling outside of their store, that kind of stuff, and the We Steal From Old People thing. And they are a registered business, and he now knows that, and he knows that they can just keep kicking the can down the road, passing the responsibility off to franchisees instead of corporate, and that law enforcement won't step in because it's a civil matter. So the CEO is aware of all that, and thus is avoiding doing anything litigious against them. And so they try like a raffle scheme to get like the cops on their side. Ultimately, it doesn't work. The cops are very much against them, trying to like get any kind of investigation into the actual Legos that they are still having without paying for them. The cops really do not like these guys because they keep getting calls about like trespassing them, harassment this, harassment that. So they are very much not looking to really investigate their claims about like they have these Legos, they haven't paid for it, which is illegal. Like that, to me,
that's stealing.
I haven't brushed up on my civil versus criminal lawsuit, but I feel like that would start to teeter on being a criminal lawsuit if they are knowingly selling this product that they have not paid for, knowing that it is not even owned by them via the contract they have. Like, I feel like that would get close to a criminal case that would warrant some kind of like actual investigation, but they're not willing to even take those first steps because Bricks and Minifigs just keeps calling the cops out here about like trespass them, they're harassing, and they're hatching these like wacky schemes to try and get Bricks and Minifig to engage legally with them so that way they can open it up to more with how they've been doing their business.
I don't
and it
think
just
that would
ultimately
work.
wasn't working. Now what it
I mean,
does
maybe
do,
I'm
and again, I don't
wrong,
think
but
I
I
can
don't
show
think
any of
that
the
would
footage
work.
here from it, but what it does do is it whittles down
It's
the
an
owner,
idea.
Josh, where it does seem like he starts to get really antsy and start to kind of panic a little bit. So he has another conversation with Ben, and he's like, look, this is what I need. I'll give the Legos back if I get a written apology from Brian. Dweeb, you're such a fucking twerp, Josh. All of the negative comments taken off. Only positive reviews, that kind of thing. So he is like actually holding the Legos hostage for these deliverables here. Fucking loser, man.
Yeah, so basically before Brian can get his Star Wars Lego collection back, he has to write Bricks and Minifigs an apology letter for making this Facebook post. Bricks and Minifigs really doesn't like this Facebook post being up because in this Facebook post, Brian calls Bricks and Minifigs out for stealing his Lego Star Wars collection.
I'm not apologizing for shit.
I agree, but it's well, here's like where we're at, right? If you could just write the letter, like we can get the Legos back.
I walked in there with the best of intentions. Here's proof of my collection in the store. I want it back, and they've done nothing but lie and make my life a living fucking hell over this. I've gone through 9 months of anxiety, stress, hospital-ridden, medication-taking types of burden.
I'm not downplaying what happened to you. It's just,
No, I am not apologizing to this fucking asshole.
It is just egregious
Yeah,
to
what the- why would
demand
he
that the guy who
apologize?
only
He
wants
didn't
to
do
either
anything
get the Legos
wrong.
back that his father has collected over the course of his life,
Gotcha.
or get paid for the Legos that you
Gotcha.
still have from his father's collection, is the one that is needing to apologize. I agree with Brian. Like, on pure principle alone, that's just totally fucking unacceptable. Like, to be the insufferable asshole who is knowingly engaging in this shadiness. I'll call it shadiness, but I think it's far harsher than that, but that's just allegedly. And then demanding that the guy who is representing his father, who is medication-ridden, who is not in the best of health, and only wanted to sell the collection to help with their living situation, is actually like the bad guy here, is just completely crazy. Plus, I don't trust them. I also would think, even if Brian did write that apology and take down the negative posts and like, oh, only positive posts going forward, fist bumps and all that, I still would be skeptical on if they would even follow through with giving the Legos back, or if they would just then use that as evidence when they do get to the next steps. Like, oh no, look, Brian apologized, so Brian was in the wrong. It was a big misunderstanding. See, Brian apologized, because then they would have that in writing and they'd be able to use that. It would likely be admissible in court, should it get there. So I would also be wary of doing this for that reason too. I don't think even if he did start writing the apology, and it's the most sincere thing ever, I still don't think they would actually give him his Legos back. It would just be used as a weapon against him. And this is something that Brian also made a mention of as it being a trap. And Ben actually had a really good idea here. So he once again contacted Josh, like, okay, Brian's going to make an apology video so that way we can move this along and get the Legos back. But what he did is he actually took a screenshot of Brian from an earlier conversation and had his friend do the audio and then just basically deep-faked Brian's apology video. But it was never Brian apologizing. It was his friend's statements coming out of Brian's mouth that was loosely lip-synced to it, and then sent it to Josh.
Hi, I'm Brian Mansell.
And after just a little bit of deep faking, it now looks like this.
Hi, I'm Brian Mansell, and I apologize sincerely for accusing you guys of stealing my Legos. I was wrong, and you were right.
This is the ultimate test. Was Josh being sincere, or was this all just one
Realest
big trick?
apology ever.
Josh then took the apology and he said, oh, this is so nice. This is so big of you. I can't wait to give your Legos back. You have my word. And
I'm
that's
sure
not
that's
who
exactly
I am.
what he said.
But you also need to go apologize to Amanda. So Ben goes to try and apologize to Amanda after getting permission from Josh, the owner, to go there, even though he's been trespassed.
Of course.
He shows up. Amanda instantly tries to call the police to have him arrested. So that didn't go over super well. That does seem like they were just trying to get him arrested there. But then he calls Josh. He's like, oh, dag nabbit, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe she'd do that. Anyway, let's work on getting those Legos back, shall we? Well, wouldn't you believe it? Tons of time passes by. They keep stalling, like, oh yeah, no quick update, but soon we'll have it. These are all conversations that he's had over the phone with these fucking monsters over there. Again, this is Legos, by the way. And they just keep not giving the Legos over a week, 2 weeks. I already forgot, but it was a long time had passed, and then they eventually try making peace with Amanda again, which is the lady from the very beginning who just keeps getting the police on the horn to try and have them arrested, and that's still not working. And then it turns out, apparently, they don't have his Legos to give back anyway. He's saying the shelves are empty, there's no Legos to even give back, which is very contradictory to what Josh said not too long ago about, like, oh, yeah, we'll definitely give it back after this apology, it's coming. And they'd stalled for so long about, oh, yeah, the Legos are coming, just, big hiccup here, unforeseen circumstances there, that kind of thing.
Yeah, did they
sell them? And now they're saying, oh, no, we just don't have it to
else?
give back. So these are just actual fucking degenerate scammers, allegedly, is what it looks like. These are just fucking awful people here at Bricks and Minifigs.
So basically, these are my two options. I can do what Josh wants me to do and shut up, which I can say right now, I'm definitely not doing that. So what's the alternative? I can, I guess, raise hundreds of thousands of dollars somehow, and then maybe spend 3 to 4 years in court fighting them, and somehow, if I win, then we can finally get the family their Legos back. Yeah, both of these options
Yeah, but they need the money for
or
medical
maybe
bills, right?
I can somehow find a way to engineer a
sucks.
third option, which I call option number 3. Small claims court. Think about it. Small claims court is basically just like big boy court, except it costs basically nothing, and you get a judgment pretty much instantly.
After another hostile conversation with Josh, where Josh is melting down again after still not giving the Legos back after he promised he would do, and again, Josh is a man of his word, according to the phone calls here. It now has boiled down to only one option left, which is small claims court, because the big court is way too expensive. Now, what happened next, I couldn't actually believe. I was stunned. I can't recommend watching this video enough. They went through all the proper motions and channels from what I can see. Again, I'm not an expert, but it looks like they did squeak out the W with the small claims. Like, they didn't actually show up or do anything like they were supposed to. Bricks and Minifig, that is. So, Ben and the gang, they did win that, and when they went to collect, they actually shut down the store permanently. That was their response to it. They just closed operations of that location.
Or the Legos?
Holy shit.
Since they didn't respond, you can move forward with a motion for default judgment.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Yes, since Bricks and Minifigs didn't respond, looks like we win by default.
Congratulations, you won the court case.
Wait, what?
I couldn't believe it. Literally one day after we filed motion for default judgment, they permanently closed down the store. At first, it did feel kind of cool that our plan worked so well, it completely shut them down.
But they just ran away with all the
pretty
goods,
quickly
right?
It sunk in that we are not the winners here. The only winners today is Bricks and Minifigs. Now, there's absolutely no way to hold this store liable for what they did. I guess Bricks and Minifigs was kind of embarrassed by this decision and forgot to mark online that their store is closed. So, over the next few days, a bunch of negative reviews started coming in of people expecting an open store, but then being met with this.
Well, it says temporarily closed.
Like, yes, it is not a good ending because now they still haven't paid Brian for the collection, and they still got to get away with all of it. They just closed this one store, but they're still a big corporation, so, like Ben said, they are still kind of the winners here, even though they lost the small claims court here. They just shut this down and move on, but it did end with a flood of negative reviews for Bricks and Minifigs because, well, they didn't even really inform their customers about this closure because it was so instantaneous after the small claims default judgment, I guess. Pretty fucking wacky. What a diabolical company. Again, this is all over Legos, by the way. And the cops at no point were ever on like the side of Ben, and yet
Legos,
still they were able to squeeze out something I think pretty impressive here. The cops were always on Bricks and Minifig's side, even at times seemingly going out of their way to be on their side.
Yeah.
Which is extremely annoying. Like, I don't think they were getting, money under the table for their cooperation or anything like that. It is just one of those things where I guess they just believe that the business can do no wrong and that this must just be some wacky psycho doing shit to be disruptive. But really, Bricks and Minifigs are the bad guys here from all available evidence.
And the only way to let the world know is for me to give them an official closing ceremony.
Oh my god.
I guess someone driving by happened to take a picture of the sign we put up and posted it on social media. And pretty much immediately, we started going absolutely viral. The entire world has now seen this crime that Bricks and Minifigs has committed. And because of this, they finally marked on Google that their store is permanently closed.
I've been reading about this Bricks and Minifigs in Salem, Oregon. It's got this sign out in front of it.
It's been over a week.
This is crazy.
The sign is still up, and people have been traveling from all over just to come and take a picture with this sign.
If you drive through Kaiser, you may have noticed a mysterious sign appear recently outside the closed Mini Bricks and Fig store.
Banger. That's so good. So the sign popped off here because it's the only way to let people know why that store's closed, what all has happened there, what's gone on, why is it no longer operational? And then it just started to naturally, organically catch wind online in the Lego community and then exploded beyond the Lego community. And apparently all of this is still just the first part of this saga here, this Lego adventure. Part 2 is up on his Patreon, and he gave a sizzler reel where apparently he is in handcuffs, him and his whole group are. I don't know how it pops off to that degree, because it looks like they're at their own home with it. It's seemingly pretty fucking wild in part 2, but yeah, even just part 1 had me stunned. The depth of depravity for Legos from this company, seemingly, is
watch part 2
unbelievable.
On the original
I had
guys
to yap
channel
about this. It was an incredible video. Again, I highly recommend you go watch the entire thing from Reckless Bin. I just couldn't help but blabber about it. Fucking home run of a video here. And a big fuck you to Bricks and Minifigs. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.
What the fuck? Okay, I know people are saying I missed out on the main video, but I'm glad I watched the summary instead of the hour-and-a-half long one, at least to get into it, I guess.
This man...
What the fuck? Is it this one? This one's part 2? Or this one? Dude, there's so many. What the fuck? This one?
Search warrant. Step outside, everybody. No. Don't move.
This is the story of how I got swatted, all because of Legos.
What?
The whole thing started with me investigating a Lego company called Bricks and Minifigs. The company sent 2 guys to steal the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection worth around $200,000. And for some reason, the police are helping them get away with it. The family reached out to me saying that I'm their last hope to get them their life savings back. The video I made exposing them was actually insane. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But we ended up taking them to court, and we actually won. When I went back to the store to collect my money, they literally shut down the entire store just to avoid paying us.
Dang it!
So I personally gave them an official closing ceremony, and it went extremely viral. And now the entire world has seen how corrupt this Bricks and Minifigs company is.
We didn't get the Legos back, but I mean, we shut down an entire business.
We still had to get the Legos back. Yeah, I made a promise to this family that I was not going to stop on my journey until we get them their entire Lego collection back.
I feel like they're not
the two owners, Joshua Johnson and Brandon Best, probably think that they're safe by closing down the store. But the reality is, I can literally just sue them all over again, but personally this time. So I started to file my lawsuit. But right after I filed this court case, it got rejected. And the reason was, I failed to demonstrate a good faith effort to resolve the dispute prior to filing.
Basically, before this court case gets approved, I have to at least attempt to settle with Josh outside of court first.
I tried calling Josh, but I'm blocked.
I'm sorry.
Oh man.
So my only option left is to travel to his house to have this conversation in person.
Basically, if Josh wants to save the day, I got him a trophy that says, Joshua Johnson saved the day. And we'll give him this trophy, but he has to get the Legos back first.
So we started driving to Josh's house to have this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
We're in Josh's neighborhood. Oh my god. gosh.
But when we showed up, Josh was already outside talking on the phone to someone.
Oh my gosh, Josh is outside on the phone. It's crazy. Wait, do I interrupt his phone call or do we just like wait?
Interrupt his phone call?
No, probably not.
I thought it would be pretty rude to interrupt his phone call, so we parked around the corner and decided to wait for him to get off this call.
I like how we just have this conversation outside.
Right. He doesn't want to get his wife involved. He's hiding something.
Oh. Wait, we went out.
Everything's
Hi,
good,
honey.
What the heck?
I'm pretty sure Josh is on the phone with corporate bricks and minifigs. And the reason I think that is we were actually just there right before this.
Okay, pulling up to Bricks and Minifigs headquarters.
The plan was to give them one more chance to do the right thing before suing them again. While we were there, one of the corporate employees answered the door and told us he would get the CEO to come talk to us.
Okay. Well.
Oh!
No, they said they're getting some guy to talk to us. We're just waiting.
I can already tell you right now, no one's coming out to talk to you guys.
Really? But they told us that they were.
I know.
Since Josh only lives like 15 minutes away, they must have informed him that we're in the area. Because a few minutes later, this happened.
Dude, the police just showed up. What the heck? Why are the police at his house?
Oh, there's another one, dude. 2 cop cars.
3 cop cars?
Oh my gosh. Cop cars.
Why is there 3 cop cars at his house? We didn't even walk up to his house yet. The cops are following us. What the heck? That's so crazy, dude. Obey every traffic law.
He's got his lights on.
Oh, shoot.
He's pulling us over.
My name's Officer Merrick Police. The reason I stopped you is the stop sign. You didn't stop that.
I didn't? No. I thought I stopped.
Yeah, you definitely stopped. You said you ran a stop sign?
Huh?
You said you ran a stop sign?
I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I was like...
Because we definitely stopped at the stop sign.
Stopped.
Yeah.
I was so sure that we stopped at the stop sign that I actually requested all the police footage of this. And as you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop. We fully stopped at the stop sign. So this is an illegal traffic stop.
So who's Ben?
What the fuck is happening?
Me?
Ben? How's Utah?
It's good.
Like it?
Okay, it's pretty obvious that the police know why we're here, so I just explained to them the entire situation.
This old man spent his entire life collecting the world's largest Star Wars Lego collection set.
The only problem is it's a crazy story, and the police officer did not believe me.
$200,000? $200,000. It sounds crazy.
Yeah, when the officer went back to his car, this is the message that he radioed in.
Hey, can you get the contact for Reckless Ben? He said he didn't have his ID, but he's just straight lying to me about everything else, so...
What?
Since the cops don't believe my story, they trespassed me from the property.
Everybody today is being trespassed from that property.
Okay.
Yeah, we were forced to go home without having this good faith conversation the court requires us to have.
Yeah, what do we do now, dude? Like, we didn't even, get to talk to him and we're in trespass. So, dude.
The one thing I didn't understand was how the heck did they know we were coming? I was hiding in the back seat the entire time, and the car's windows were extremely tinted.
These windows are
Maybe
so
there's a
tinted, you
rat on
can't
the
see anything.
inside.
But as I was outside inspecting our car tint, the same police showed up to our house.
Oh, no,
What the fuck?
And it was weird.
That was the
He
same
wouldn't tell
guy.
us why he was here.
Like I said, we've already talked about it.
Yeah, well, thanks for being so cool about everything.
Yeah.
They're like after us, dude.
Anyways, since Josh clearly doesn't want to have this good faith conversation with me, I took his trophy and destroyed it.
Wait, guys, let's throw it off that thing.
Just like in the previous video, I tried to give Josh the benefit of the doubt, the easy way. But again, Josh does not want to do the easy way. The only option left is to go the hard way. But before going the hard way, I actually remembered that there's another owner of the store named Brandon Best. Brandon is the guy in the security camera footage that illegally kicked the first owner out of the store so he could steal all their Legos. I tried calling him, but I am also blocked.
I'm sorry.
The only option left is to show up to his house.
Why does he have a pink basket?
Hello. Hey, how's it going? Hello? Hey, well, I was wondering if you'd be down to pay us for the lawsuit that we won. Huh.
seems like Brandon doesn't want to have this good faith conversation to resolve this problem outside of court. And I gave him plenty of time to
Surprised
speak.
he even came out of the house.
I guess if you don't want to talk, I'll just talk. So you guys told us to take you to court. We went to court and we won. We know you closed down the store to avoid paying us, so we could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again, but
then the police showed up, and again, for some reason, they are really trying to protect these criminals.
He didn't steal anything. He inherited the store from somebody
no,
else.
he stole $200,000
How do you know this?
because I've been spending the last 3 months in the case, and I won in court.
He inherited the store. He's being blamed for everything that the previous owner did, and he's trying to...
Well, that's a lie. So we...
Okay, hold on. I'm still
okay,
talking.
I'm sorry.
He's still trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner, and now he's catching blame for it, and he's just trying to clean up the mess from the previous owner.
No, him saying that it's the previous owner, that's a lie, and we already proved this in court.
If you come back and step foot on this property, you're gonna go to jail.
The police gave me a formal trespass notice, which I took a picture of it and sent it to the court as proof I tried to have this good faith conversation, but Brandon didn't want to have it with me. And turns out this was good enough. My court case with Brandon Best got accepted. But my court case with Josh is still going to be rejected until I find a way to have this good faith conversation with him. So I decided to see if I could find Josh online, to see if I could look up any more information about him.
Hey guys. Yeah, they all look the same. No.
Joshua Johnson.
Yeah, Joshua Johnson.
We lower their tax
So many bald
liabilities
guys.
and minimize their exposure to lawsuits. That's hella ironic. Are you kidding me, dude? That's what he's known for, is reducing people's exposure to lawsuits.
After some more research, we found out that both Josh and Brandon are super hardcore Mormon, which was actually extremely surprising to me, because if Josh and Brandon are truly Mormons, they believe that stealing is wrong, and if they steal, they're gonna go to hell. Or I guess in Mormonism they call it the outer darkness. But still, Brandon and Josh probably actually believe that this is gonna be eternity for them. I mean, Josh even swore to me on his Mormon God in the last video that he would give us the Legos back.
I promise you, I swear to God. I promise you on everything.
But maybe I can use this to my advantage. My problem right now seems to be that Josh is never gonna listen to anything I ever tell him. But if someone from his church heard this audio, maybe he would listen to them. So after finding exactly what church these guys go to, we went to it and showed one of the Mormons there this audio clip. And the Mormon thought that the best thing to do was to have a talk with Josh to save him from going to this outer darkness.
Okay, good luck. And I guess me and Tyler are staying back because we're already trespassed. So
yeah, we ended up just driving home. But on our way back, this happened.
What? Pull over again?
Again?
How's it going?
How's it going? I'm Officer Hawkins, American Fort Police Department. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Well, what's your name? Are you Ben?
Hanging out down here.
At this point, we realized what's going on. Yesterday, I told Brandon that our plan is to now sue them personally.
We could just sue you guys personally and do the whole thing again. We would obviously win again.
It seems like they're getting so desperate that they're gonna resort back to the same strategy they used in the last video.
You know what's really funny is after you left, I got a call from my boss and it was like, how do we get them arrested?
Dang.
How do we get them arrested?
Yeah, Josh and Brandon think that if they can somehow get us arrested and thrown in jail, then we won't be able to sue them. I don't know what they told the police we did this time,
is so
but they caught us
fucked.
too late.
Like,
the Mormon kid was already on his way to Josh's house to save him from this outer darkness and bring him back to God.
Or pay them what you owe. What?
Down here for me for
This cannot be worth it.
I'm just here trying to talk to Brother Johnson.
Okay.
I'm in the Harvard Second Ward. There's been an audio going around with the young men group.
Okay. What's the audio that you wanted to play?
Here's the audio.
I'm not gonna screw you. You have my word. That's not who I am. I promise you. I swear to God. I promise you on everything.
Who's that?
So
I guess
that's, that's him.
No, I know that. I could tell that from the voice, but
I was just gonna ask him, like, is he willing to give up everything like he said? Because he swore on everything. He swore on God. This might be a crazy ask, but could you take a selfie with me?
But anyways, back to us.
Wow.
The police apparently got a call that we had heroin on us.
This officer is going to conduct the search of your person because there are illegal substances in the vehicle. Really? So he's going to do that. I'm going to put this away, and then we'll be right. Don't reach in your pockets for me, okay?
What?
The vehicle will be searched, okay? I'm going to have you stick by my sergeant.
After 2 hours of searching the car, obviously they found no drugs.
So, you didn't find anything.
I explained to the police that we didn't have drugs, and the reality of the situation is that Bricks and Minifigs is so desperate at this point that they're willing to do anything to get us arrested so they don't have to pay for the property they stole. And the police was arguing back with just some of the worst comebacks I've ever heard, which is why I think the police actually redacted this audio in this clip, because if they kept the audio in, then the world would get to see how stupid the American Fork Police Department is. But anyways, even though we were passing every single drug test they gave us, they were still not going to let us go.
Dude, they're really trying to get them for something.
For example, right? There's a constriction, which is dilated, and then
Do you notice it?
So I haven't been looking at this. I'll show him. Go ahead and look at him.
Oh, look at you?
Yeah.
You do see it?
So
it's crazy. I have no idea because I've never done any drugs in my life. I don't do drugs. I don't do alcohol. I've never done any of that in my life. I'm willing to do any drug tests.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very cooperative. I don't understand what you're seeing in my eyes.
I'm going to have a discussion with this officer.
And then the police department illegally redacted this conversation too. My guess is that they acknowledged that it's very obvious we don't have drugs on us, but they were going to try and pressure us into giving some type of false confession anyways.
I'm not sure if you're lying to me or not, to be honest.
I'm willing to take any drug test you want.
I'm walking a very dangerous line, which can get you into a lot.
Yeah.
You could end up in jail in Utah when you're from Cali.
Okay.
Not worth it, right?
Yeah.
We play differently here.
What? They didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I'm willing to cooperate with you guys and do anything you want me to because I'm not hiding anything. I can promise you that. I promise.
We weren't giving the police a false confession like they wanted, so eventually I guess they just got tired and let us go.
We'll let you guys go now, but you're walking a thin line. Just be mindful of that. Does that make sense?
Okay.
At this point, I've documented everything I've been through to the court, that I've tried to have this good faith conversation with Josh. He just doesn't want to have it with me. And because of everything I went through, my court case finally got approved. And attached to this email are court papers to serve Josh. The only problem is Josh is not going to open this door for anyone. He wouldn't even talk to another Mormon. Instead, he just called the police on him. In order to get Josh to come outside, I'm really gonna have to get creative. So I made this poster that says, "I stole a dying man's life savings," and printed it out. Now I'm placing this poster in a public space right across the street from Josh's house. Yeah, it turns out this tiny patch of land is actually free for any person of the public to use. And since we have the freedom of speech, I am breaking no laws by doing this. So when Josh walks outside to take down this sign, I have a process server to serve him his court papers. But almost immediately, my sign got blocked.
No.
Oh no, he's blocking our sign.
How can this be?
What are you guys doing here? So we are in a court case with them and we have to serve them legal papers.
So I explained to the cops the entire situation.
I'm not going on his property.
Right, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The police realized that we're not breaking any laws, and they've been called here for a false reason, so they decided to leave.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, well that one was smooth.
This is going so much better than yesterday.
So now it's time to serve Josh these court papers. And then we got the police called on us again.
Hello.
Again!
This man stole basically his family's life savings. So we're just here to serve him his court papers.
Again, I explained to this police officer the entire situation.
I wish we could just send him an email or a phone call, you know, but yeah, the court requires us to come in person for some reason, so.
Again, the cops realized that we are doing nothing illegal and decided to leave. Now it's time to serve Josh his court papers. But we got the police called on us again.
Hello.
What?
Can I see those papers? Yeah.
So this is what you're trying
3 in a row.
Yes. That's required by the court.
Again, the police agree that we are not breaking the law. They've been called out here for
Maybe
a false
the cop
reason.
could just go give it
This
to
guy
him.
told me that he could even just serve the papers for me.
Yeah.
Okay, if I give these papers to him?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Okay, thank you.
Oh shit.
Sadly, we can't see the police officer serve Josh because the police department redacted all of it. But the only thing that really matters is that Josh is getting served.
He does not want the paper. So
He does not want the papers?
here's that back for you.
Okay.
Yeah, the police told me that they can't serve the papers for me because I'm lying to them, and these aren't even real court papers.
Not sure what this is. I've never seen something like that. To be honest with you.
These are court papers.
Okay. It doesn't have a judge's name or anything like that on it?
Because it hasn't gotten to the judge yet. So this is serving him, and then we'll go to the court, and then the judge will be there. So the judge doesn't get involved until we're in court.
Why is he saying that you guys went on the property?
Because he wants us arrested, so he doesn't have to go to court.
It doesn't look good when you've been trespassed.
Yeah.
Trying to serve papers.
Well, I think it looks exactly how we're supposed to do it legally. This is the legal way to do it.
Well, we have 2 or 3 incidents.
Yeah, well, first, so they're incidents because he's lying to you guys. He's making them incidents. We came to do a good faith conversation, which is required by the courts before you can get a court case approved. So we did that. He called the cops on us. He lied to you guys saying that we had heroin on us, and we did a 3-hour search of the car yesterday. We found no heroin in the car. He's going to make up any lie he can to get us arrested. We are doing things the legal way, the correct way. The reason he's hiding in his house is because he's the criminal. If something doesn't look good, it doesn't look good for him, not for us.
Go the legal process,
Which is
find
what
an
we're
actual
doing, yeah.
process server.
She is an actual process server.
And what is your guys' relationship?
I just met her today.
Well, maybe just have someone not affiliated with you.
That's her. Yeah, she's.
Yeah,
we have
I
no
just
relationship.
barely
That's why
met
she's here.
her.
Yeah, that's why she's here. We have no relationship, and that
What?
is.
How is this so
she is
bad?
The exact person that you were describing.
I always thought that the police were supposed to remain unbiased, and if they were going to take a side, they definitely shouldn't take the side of the criminal. But I guess I was wrong. However, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm literally just following the instructions of the court, so the police can't stop me.
Okay, have a good rest of your day.
Okay, see ya.
Now that the police are finally leaving, it's time to game plan how to serve Josh. But then, you guessed it, we got the police called on us again.
What the fuck?
Oh, sure. The paper.
Why do they keep coming out?
Here you go.
Like, what?
Well,
Do they think it's a false case? What the heck?
Thank you for holding. How can I help you?
Trying to speak with someone to verify if a
What? This is insane!
just verify if a case is real.
Yeah, looks like a real small claims case in our court.
Okay, thank you for your help. That's all for today. Thank you.
I think this phone call was the breaking point for the police.
Oh, he's rubbing his chin.
The police couldn't handle the fact that I was right and they were wrong.
Why are there so many?
Hello. For me. Okay.
Okay, let's try and find you back.
Am I being arrested?
You're under arrest right now.
Really?
What?
Ben got arrested. Like, they didn't say anything when they were putting him in handcuffs. They just said, you're being arrested.
I was confused on what I was being arrested for. I mean, the same police officers that arrested me gave me permission to do exactly what I was doing.
You can film from the sidewalk wherever it's public, right? But you can't go on that property. If you do, you'll be charged, okay?
Okay, yeah, for sure.
I got arrested for just doing what the police told me to do. What's even more confusing is the police are supposed to be the good guys. Why are they arresting an innocent person to protect an evil criminal? Well, back when I was still waiting in the car to serve Josh, I got a phone call, and this call was from Brian, the collector's son who got all their stuff stolen. And he has a theory of what might be going on here.
Yeah, the cops down there are definitely all in with the Mormon community, and being the bricks and minifigs is part of that and worth millions. I would not doubt that they have donated hefty sums to the Mormon church, of which all the cops are probably a part of.
Yeah, Brandon Best,
I don't know, but
Joshua
maybe.
Johnson, and Eamon, the CEO, are all super Mormon. Like the CEO even went to the Mormon University. And when I looked up all the police officers who were treating me unfairly, they were all Mormon too.
And they take care of their own, man. They are like a huge clan.
I mean, just because they're all Mormon,
and instead of trying to get rid of the few bad people who are making Mormonism look bad, they're for some reason choosing to protect these criminals. But eventually, I got released from jail.
Out of jail now?
And this is when it really hit me that the justice system has decided to protect these criminals. So now, there's really only one way I can think of to get this family the money back that got stolen from them. Which is a GoFundMe. Yeah, it is a pretty anticlimactic ending, but at least I'm confident that I'm not going to get in trouble for this. Now that our GoFundMe is live, it's time to promote it, to start getting donations. We printed out the GoFundMe's picture to hang it up so we could get a nice Instagram video to post to social media. But before the group could even hang the picture up, the police came.
No, I was going to say, not the cops again.
We're starting a GoFundMe. Yeah. What we're doing is we're going to get a bunch of publicity to get basically all this money back for this family. Yeah. You know, we're not going to do the lawsuit anymore. We're just going to do this GoFundMe. We've already got it started.
It can run into some defamation stuff.
Again, the police were thinking of any technicality they could think of to protect their Mormon friend.
Look at your stalking code. See if it's that. If it's not, we're going to look at disorderly. If it's not disorderly, then we're going to look at the city ordinance.
But after going through every law they could think of, it turns out that hanging this sign on a fence and then taking a picture of it for Instagram is not illegal. In fact, what the group is doing is actually protected under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. So one of the police officers let the group know that they were okay to keep doing this.
Right now, I don't think you guys break the law.
But this other police officer wasn't able to accept this reality.
We're going to take it down.
And then for the rest of this footage, the police redacted all of the audio. So I called up the police station to find out why.
All the redactions are done pursuant to the Utah State Code. We don't redact things just because we feel like it or, you know, just because something looks funny. Everything is redacted pursuant to Utah State Code. And other than that, I can't really delve into any more detail.
But the police made a mistake. They accidentally forgot to mute this police officer's audio. So when you sync the two clips together, I can actually hear what they're saying here.
He sees it or give it back? Is it an occasional crime? Is it disorderly conduct? Why? Is he upset about it? I mean, I guess, but that's not.
Yeah, this police officer is right. Just because this might make Josh upset does not make this poster illegal. So I decided to let the police department know that some of the redactions they made aren't exactly what they're claiming they are. I think you guys might have accidentally forgot to redact another clip that was at the same time. And when I synced the two clips together, I was able to see what they were saying, like what the redaction was. And he was talking about how what we're doing actually isn't illegal and how the police officer might be wrong. And so it wasn't about protecting a victim. It wasn't any personal information. And so I was wondering, it seems like there might be a lot of stuff like that that got redacted, maybe to protect the police officers, not to protect the victims, if that makes sense. And so...
yeah, we don't do that. So like I said, anything that's redacted is pursuant to Utah State Code.
I can tell because when I sync the two clips together, I'm actually able to see that that's what the redaction was.
Okay, well, that didn't happen.
That definitely didn't happen?
No, I don't do that, Ben. I follow the Utah State Code, like I just said.
Okay. I don't know. It seems like the police department redacted this entire conversation because right here the police are actually admitting to themselves that none of this is illegal, but they're still going to try to arrest us anyways. It seems like the only reason they're getting rid of this audio is to protect the police officers from getting fired. I don't know what the police officers are saying in this next clip, but I'm pretty sure they're scheming up a way to get the group arrested. Because this is what happens next.
Oh no.
And Lieutenant Adamson can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're going to seize your phone right now.
What?
Do not do that. You understand me? Right now you're attempting to destroy evidence. Okay? Put your hands behind your back.
I was just locking my phone.
Okay, I'm going to switch over to the police officer's body cam POV so we can dissect what just happened. First, the police officer asks if he can confiscate Sheldon's phone, so Sheldon says, okay, and reaches in his pocket to give it to him. But at this point, Sheldon sees that his phone is unlocked, And at this moment, he decided that before giving it to the police officer, he was going to lock his phone, which is totally legal. There's no search warrant, so Sheldon is legally allowed to lock his phone. But as the police officer saw Sheldon's thumb moving towards that lock button, he snatched it out of his hands. And now the police officer's claiming that because he tried to lock his phone, he's destroying evidence.
Silence.
Yeah, I was giving it to you.
Stop talking.
I was giving it to you.
Okay?
It's on my money. Look, it's on my wallet. I was turning it off.
Right now, this phone is being seized as part of this investigation, and you're being arrested. Okay? Let's put him in the back of the car.
And again, the police decided to break the law, arrest Sheldon, all to protect an evil criminal.
My name's Detective Nikosha. I work here at the police department.
What the fuck is
I did let me
this?
hand over my phone, but when I handed him my phone, my wallet popped up. So I said, hold up, let me hit my power button. And you know, I have it recorded as well. That's all I went and did. That's not obstruction of evidence. And then I let him have the phone. I wasn't trying to delete anything. In fact, it is actually impossible to delete something from an iPhone from a locked screen by hitting the power button. So in no context could I have been trying to erase something by hitting one button on my phone. Now, I'm sure you have a phone as well. When you hit the power button, that doesn't delete anything, does it?
I imagine it wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all I did. So I don't know how that's obstruction of evidence, but that is what it is.
Now that Sheldon is in jail, just for promoting our GoFundMe, we started doubting if we'll ever even be able to get Brian his money back for his dad's Lego collection. It's crazy that out of all the powerful organizations I've gone up against, the one company I'm not able to beat is a Lego company. I literally couldn't have imagined a worse ending for this video. But I had no clue that it was about to get way
What? Dude, are they pulling up to their fucking Airbnb?
Make yourself known. Search warrant. Stand up. Step outside, everybody. Come on. No. Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Okay?
Yeah, this cop pulled my arm so far back, it dislocated my shoulder. He claims it's because I was attempting to make an escape or something.
Don't move like that. You understand me? Don't move like that. Don't move quick. Everybody just
Okay, but that cat was really cute.
You can see I was being completely still when he grabbed me, and I actually made 0 quick movements. So this police officer is just straight up lying so he can give me a serious injury.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
Yes. The police department got an official warrant to search our house for stolen Legos. I should have seen this coming. Josh did threaten me in the last video that if I go out and actually try to sue him, he's gonna come out and say that I'm the one that stole the Legos.
Okay, let's do it.
Fuck you, man. You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
Yeah, you're a fucking thief.
Dang. Okay.
You can shut the fuck up. That's your fucking choice.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit just to give you guys some context, but I actually got a copy of this warrant. The reason they were searching our house was, it says, there is now certain property or evidence described as any stolen merchandise, specifically Lego merchandise. It's evidence of illegal conduct on us that we stole the Legos. They're looking that we stole the Legos is why they stormed our house.
This guy is
no
so
evidence.
fucking
And this is
evil.
after he's been proven to make up stories about us before. And so now he's just pulling something out of his butt. Oh, they're the ones that stole the Legos. And for whatever reason, the police take him seriously, even though he's acting like a crazy person. Anyways, the cops probably felt pretty stupid when they searched our entire house and didn't find any stolen Legos. Again, the police illegally redacted this conversation to avoid them looking stupid, but I'm pretty sure that's what they were talking about. But instead of doing what any rational police officer would do and let us go, they're sticking to their story that we're the thieves.
Dude, this is fucking insane. This is so much worse than I thought.
entire group, we are all on our way to jail.
For what, though? They didn't find it. What?
Except for me. I got taken to an interrogation room so they could find some reason to lock me up for good.
Ben, I'm Detective Nikosha.
Last time, I was able to get released on bail. This time, they're requesting that I be held in jail a month until my court date. But there's honestly nothing for me to hide, so I went through the entire story with them to show the detective that this whole thing is just a big misunderstanding.
If you think about it, 83-year-old man versus $400 million company, even though the $400 million company's in the wrong, they're gonna win, you know? I wish we could just send him an email, like show up to court this day. That would be so easy for us, but this is how the law works. Like, that's not my fault. Like, I don't make the law. If I made the law, send him an email, and they're like, he doesn't want your papers, you just have to figure out civilly. And I'm like, this is the civil method, you know? Like, to do it civilly, you have to serve. They're like, well, then just sue him then. I'm like, that's what we're doing. Like, you see how this is a circle? I am very interested on Josh's side of the story because I think he said, might have said we had heroin in the car or something, and they did like a 3-hour search on our car. Obviously no heroin, so I don't know what Josh is telling them to that we're doing, but suing him is not working for us. So let's do a GoFundMe.
Right after I mentioned this GoFundMe, the investigator wanted to leave the room.
Hang tight here, and then I'll be back with you, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Something about me mentioning this GoFundMe really caught his attention.
All right. Good. Well, I'd just like to know more about this, like, GoFundMe. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, we were just trying to get...
Oh my god, are they gonna try to say that they're scamming people?
Ben got arrested, which we were pretty blown away he got arrested, but I'm like, all right, I'll take over now. Like, I don't want you to get in any more trouble. And he's like, yeah, I can't get in any more trouble. Like if you take over, like that, you know, that was my decision. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. What other questions do you, like, I guess, have? Because there's not really, I guess, much else to say in the situation, to be honest. That's just the whole thing that just happened. I mean, I'm honestly, like, kind of shocked to be arrested at this point for that. Yeah, this is definitely a very strange thing to be getting interrogated about, especially considering from my angle and the evidence I've seen, the overwhelming evidence that they just blatantly
Dude, who's ever
stole
doing
from this
these
guy. It's
subtitles
like
cannot fucking spell. Oh my god.
To get him his money back, and I'm the one, you know, getting put in cuffs. It's crazy.
I guess the detective didn't get what he was looking for, so he decided to interview the rest of the group.
It sounded like a great project to me. I was like, okay, like it's for a good cause.
How are you doing?
And for some reason, he was trying to get all of them to admit that the GoFundMe was my idea.
Hello. Obviously, Ben was behind the GoFundMe idea as well, right?
I don't know whose idea that was, because I kind of just started, I think they...
But he was supportive of it as his channel, right? He said, oh yeah, let's do this for the
channel. Oh my god, the dude, they think they're just trying to scam.
Was that kind
Why
of
aren't they
your
talking? Okay,
idea?
why aren't the cops trying to contact the old man and his son to be like, hey guys, is this true? But these guys, like, what? Like, I oh my god, this is insane.
Is to do this video with the
yeah, they don't give a fuck.
GoFundMe and all that.
But I wasn't afraid to admit that I actually made the GoFundMe for Brian because a GoFundMe is a safe, legal way to raise money for a family if they got all their stuff stolen. I should be risking nothing by admitting this.
Basically, the police told me, do not take this man to court or else you will get arrested. And so I was like, just thinking, and we're like, let's do a GoFundMe, you know? And that was their solution.
But I was wrong.
We're gonna book you back into the jail, okay? The creation of the GoFundMe, right? We're blasting this person all over saying, hey, he's...
So creating the GoFundMe was illegal?
When I asked the detective how creating a GoFundMe was probable cause
so they're
to
just
send me
throwing
to
them in jail for nothing, like, because they feel
like it? A lot of this
it?
stuff you may have to just get an attorney and fight it in the criminal side of court, right?
Okay, should I go back?
Yeah, go ahead and stand up. I got an officer right here that's gonna, he has cuffs for you.
Well,
dude, this is fucking insane. What?
I think he's said a lot of lies to you guys.
It'll be, and I never talked to Josh, but it'll be documented in the report as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
But the detective was lying. The police have illegally redacted every single claim Josh has made about me. And when I finally go to court, I'm going to be completely blind to what I'm even being charged for. The worst part is that the police officers took away my bail. So now I have to wait a month in jail.
But how did he make this video?
Less than 3.
Guess he made it after he got out of jail? I don't know.
However, I ended up getting extremely lucky. When a judge ended up reviewing this arrest, they thought the whole thing was so stupid and ended up releasing me on bail. So now, at least I'm a free man until my court case.
Yeah, it is fucking stupid. Okay, well, at least there's some people in Utah with authority who are sane,
the legal
apparently.
act that I committed was mentioning that Josh stole the Legos in our GoFundMe. So if you say who the thief is, then that is illegal for us to do that.
It's not.
Now, I just have to wait for court.
It's not illegal.
And honestly, I'm not excited. My entire life, I was taught if you steal from people, you get in trouble. And if you help people, you get rewarded. But I guess I was just taught a lie. By me trying to help and do the right thing, all I did was just screw everything up and get all of my friends in trouble. I couldn't fix anything. And now with all the charges I got in this video, I'm looking at least 5 years in jail. But I finally accept my fate. I failed. And now it's time to go home. But before I made it home, one of my roommates called me saying that a police officer just showed up to our house.
So,
what?
Ringing the doorbell, and he's like, is Mr. Snyder here? I was like, why? I was like, can I deliver a message for you? He's like, how could you deliver a message? He said it just like that. He was like, just tell him he has a warrant for his arrest. Like, he thought he was in an action movie type walk off, and that was his like end scene line.
If I had to guess, I'd say that Bricks and Minifigs has seen that I am a free man, and they can't have me actively working on my lawsuit against
He
them.
can't be
and considering
silenced.
how many lies Bricks and Minifigs has made about me in this video.
Hey, fuck you, man. You stole them, bitch.
I stole the Legos?
American Park Police Department, make yourself known. Included in the warrant are Legos.
I can only imagine of what I'm being accused of doing now. So immediately, I called the Utah Police Department
I'm
to
getting
see
like
what...
emotional right now because I'm just thinking about these people, and I'm like, oh, I hope that they're proud of themselves for you know, fighting for what's right, even when people are trying to silence them or threaten them. Like even like the police and stuff. It's so crazy. I hope that they're very proud of themselves.
My warrant was for.
Someone showed up at my house today saying that there was a warrant out for my arrest.
If that warrant says a no bail, those are the ones that are more serious.
The only thing the police department could tell me is that I do have a warrant, but this time the judge approved it that I will have no bail. And I am now a physical threat to Josh, the person the police are protecting. So basically, at any moment now, I could be arrested without bail for some mystery crime. There really is only one thing that I can do now.
Hide.
Well, I'm in Mexico now, and the American police have no authority here. What's going on?
Dude,
What the heck
nice.
is that thing? You didn't let us on that?
Dude, hell yeah.
But at this moment, I realized what I had to do. Bricks and Minifigs thinks they can just bully anyone who tries to stop them in committing their crimes. And what's the only way to stop a bully? To stand up to them.
If me posting this picture online once got the city this upset where they had to arrest me, just think about how upset they'd be if thousands of people started wearing it.
Which is why the picture that got me arrested, I'm putting that picture on a shirt.
And you can buy this merch at WeStealFromOldPeople.com.
Oh my
Go
God.
right now. It's gonna be sick.
And yeah, all of the law enforcement that's protecting Bricks and Minifigs is gonna be pissed. But there's nothing they can do because I'm in Mexico.
Anyways, part 3 is now live on my Patreon at
Patreon.com/recklessben.
Also on Patreon, you'll find tons of behind-the-scenes content, plus the movie I made that all the streaming services rejected once they saw how gnarly it was. And all of the money I make goes directly towards trying to fight bricks and minifigs so they stop doing bad things to people. Also, make sure to donate to the GoFundMe we set up for Brian. I'm not really sure if I'm allowed to promote this. I mean, I got arrested just for creating this thing, but I'm gonna do it anyways.
Doesn't
Everyone
he know
donate
that
to
by
this
now?
GoFundMe. I'm in Mexico now.
One GoFundMe
The police can't do
equals
anything
1
to me
month in
here.
jail. Bro, what the fuck? Oh my god, this is fucking crazy. What the fuck? I mean, I don't know, like I said, like, even though, like, I guess, like, what he's doing is, like, crazy or, like, it could fuck up his life, I feel like they should be proud of themselves for doing what they think is right, even when people are trying to, you know, use money or power against them to try to scare them. I think that's very respectable. Yeah, bro, police department response. Oh my fucking god, dude, this was uploaded 2 days ago. May 30th. Dude, this is fucking insane. Wait, then he has my response to the police.
Search
Oh
warrant.
my fucking god.
Yeah, even.
Oh my god. Dude, I did not know what I was getting into. Dude, I told you guys earlier, I had not heard about this at all whatsoever. Like, I mean, I spend like an okay amount of time on social media, but I didn't hear about it at all. I was playing Lego Star Wars yesterday for fucking Sub Sunday, and someone was like, "Did you hear about the stolen Legos thing?" And I was like, "No." People were like, "What? You need to watch it. It's crazy," but I didn't think it'd be this crazy. What the fuck? This is fucking insane. Oh my god, bro, I've been locked in. I missed so many subs. SFK, Red Concierge, Nullify Red Coins, Duon Kenobi, Lesarge, Keys, Chicken Tenders, Tubby, Pazha, Sora, Ventus, Cletus, Syndra, Fate Walker, Host, Jest, Huni. Thank you guys for the resubs. Fake Ads, XR Blue, Trinby, Sigma, Happy Emerald Cat, Source, Anonymous, Smokestack, Griablo, S Fox, Nico. Thank you guys. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. Sorry, I was so locked
More
in. Oh my goodness.
unhinged craziness in this
Oh my lord.
huge
Yo, and Chief, hit right spot. Thank you for the prime.
Lego scandal with bricks and minifigs has just unfolded. The Utah Police Department that was responsible for a lot of the inexplicably hostile and ridiculous behavior that we talked about yesterday with part 2 from Reckless Ben's investigation. That police department has now sent forth its softest jester to try and explain their side of things and justify a lot of what's now been put into the public eye. And this guy is so soft-spoken, it is very difficult to even hear him in the first place. This guy must have just had his fucking tonsils removed. So, I'm just giving you fair warning. It's going to be hard to hear it, but what you can hear is all the bullshit that he's driveling out. And it's so interesting because there have been numerous opportunities now for Bricks and Minifigs and now the American Fork Police Department here to actually start debunking things if there is another side to this, if everyone is being misled by Ben's videos and it's like manipulated footage and out of context to make them all look bad.
Like
it's
if Ben was somehow just doing all this to like get YouTube views, like, oh no, look, I'm trying to be a hero, and look, everyone else is evil. This would be the perfect time for them to clear it all up.
Like this big dubious
right?
plot. If that was the
even
case,
a possibility.
then why hasn't Bricks and Minifigs been able to issue a response that is trustworthy? Their last response had multiple lies in it that are provably incorrect, especially in regards to the consignment. And there's now been 2 instances of the Bricks and Minifigs top brass going on live streams to try and defend and justify their actions, and it's been a fumble. That has been a fucking floundering of the ages there. They haven't been able to explain their side or debunk any of the claims here or anything. And again, their official statement was littered with lies that are easily provably wrong. So Bricks and Minifigs hasn't been able to defend themselves with any evidence or proof, and now the American Fork Police Department comes forward and also can't do that either, telling multiple lies that are immediately provably wrong. So all of the evidence, the actual evidence being provided, is solely from Ben. That is the only place where you can actually, with your own eyes and ears, see and hear what's been going on. From Bricks and Minifigs and now the police department, the American Fork Police Department, their defense is, trust us. You just have to take our word for it. It's all hoopla.
No.
They're manipulating and misleading you. If that's the case, then prove your side. Show us the whole thing that apparently throws everything else out of whack from Ben's side. They haven't been able to. This little rat here from Bricks and Minifigs, the CEO, like I mentioned, has even come forward on stream to try and address all of it and garner sympathy and try and explain that they're in the right and Ben's in the wrong. It's all stalking and harassment over nothing. And he's been unable to prove any of his claims. He just keeps falling back on, I've been mean and weird and harassing about it, that kind of thing. If the evidence is on Bricks and Minifigs' side and the police department side, why can't they provide it and show it? Why is their defense always just, take us at our word, when their word has meant literally nothing? Yeah, here, I haven't watched the police department's video on it yet. I'll pull it up.
My name is Cameron Paul, and I'm the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department.
Okay. Brother, do you mind turning up the volume? Holy, it's actual ASMR.
It's so quiet.
Wow. I cannot really hear him.
Also, why is he in heaven?
Why is he whispering? Are his parents asleep in the next room? What is this?
He's just in the void. What the
I'd like
fuck?
to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media that have been presented in a way that calls into question some of the actions of our department.
And we can't have that. You're not allowed to question the actions of our department. We do nothing wrong. Why is it so fucking quiet? I can hardly hear him. I actually can barely hear him. I need to bass boost this guy. Deep fry his ass. Holy, I actually can't hear it at all.
They just pull this guy off the street and dress him up. Maybe.
Maybe this. Let me see if that helps.
These videos are affiliated with an influencer on YouTube and other social media platforms and stem from a dispute involving Legos that originates in the state of Oregon. In this message...
I actually have to turn on subtitles. Bro, I can't hear you. Oh
no,
my god.
I'm glad I turned
Use
them
your
on
outside
already.
voice, please. Oh,
my
wow.
god.
Mr. Johnson reported that earlier that same day...
Oh, it's getting quieter.
...at his residence. He stated the male was wearing a baseball cap with a UPS logo taped onto it. Mr. Johnson also reported that a suspicious package had been left at the residence.
Oh, from John Smith.
He explained that what appeared suspicious was that the shipping label did not look legitimate. The package was later determined to contain rubber ducks.
What? Why is this part of the news conference? What? How is this real? Is this like part of the narrative building that like, oh, he's being harassed for no reason? Like, oh, they mailed him a box of rubber ducks from John Smith in Florida. I don't know.
He believed the mail was an individual named Benjamin Schneider, who, according to Johnson...
I like how they use this like low-res, like cracked out looking screenshot of him. Dude, this is literally like a cartoon. This is like a cartoon. What? I kind of like I'm so invested, but I kind of hate this at the same time. Like I hate that this is real. I feel so bad for the son of the old guy who's just trying to get his dad's money to pay for his medical bills. It's like, what the fuck? This is...
I can't believe it.
Oh my god, it's terrible.
Mr. Johnson further explained that civil proceedings were occurring in Oregon and stated that he believed Schneider was sending individuals to his home to harass him. While officers...
To serve him, brother, they can only go forward if he gets served the papers, which is what he was trying to explain to the officers that were called out there numerous times, literally countless times. How else, like, he can't go himself because Josh is a bitch and has, like, formally trespassed him, so if he shows up, he goes to jail for it. But by law, through the legal process, he has to serve those papers. So, like, what's he supposed to do? Now the rubber ducks. That's probably something totally separate. I'm sure that probably doesn't tie directly in to serving him the papers. But brother, it's not harassing him to try and serve him the legal documents.
Yeah, and he didn't even trespass.
This is a
he had
legit tactic
proxy,
process servers
right?
use, by the way. The rubber ducks is? Let me look that up. I'm very unfamiliar with all of this, so let me see. No, like using disguises. Oh, that I know. I thought you were talking about the rubber ducks. No, I know about that. That's a very common thing.
Just so you know, John
I thought you were
Smith
talking
is the
about
name of the
singing
founder of the
rubber
Mormon
ducks for
Church.
some reason is like
Everything
first
seen so
contact.
far is
Really?
believable given all my experience
John
with
Smith is the
Mormons.
original Mormon?
Request, and
Is that
instructed him
true?
not to
I don't know
return
that
to
much
Mr.
about
Johnson's
Mormonism.
residence. At approximately the same time, Officer Richardson arrived in the area and
Oh,
located
Joseph
a
Smith.
dark-colored Hyundai
Oh.
vehicle. Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign.
We're living in a South
failing
Park
to
episode.
stop
Bro, they're 100% making a South Park episode about this. Oh my god. And I bet, like, they're not even gonna twist that much about it. Like, it's just gonna be cut and dry, like, almost exactly what happened, I bet. Like, they don't even have to exaggerate that much.
At that stop sign.
Does this guy then go on to say the officer was incorrect? Because we have the dash
So
cam.
crazy.
He realizes this lie is immediately debunked when you look at the dash cam. They stopped at the stop sign.
Yeah.
This is a provable lie. Surely he goes on to say that the officer was incorrect, right? Obviously, he's gonna mention that, no doubt.
As you can see, we didn't even do a rolling stop. We fully stopped at the stop sign. So this is an illegal traffic.
Well, technically, they're both wrong. You're supposed to stop before the stop sign, and they stopped past the stop sign. I know that because when I took my driver test, the instructor yelled at me about that, so I remember that. But so they're both wrong. But the cops didn't even call them out on that. So they're still full of shit.
Rolling stop.
But, you know.
We fully stopped at the stop sign. So this is an illegal traffic stop.
That's a clip from Ben's video that just shows in broad daylight, no smoke and mirrors, no baloney. They stopped at that stop sign. Just wanted to dump that in here as a little refresher because what the spokesperson here for the police department is stating is provably false. There is a video, this is from the officer's own...
Flexing your driver's license? Oh yeah, how many of you don't drive? Yo, Gijo Car, thanks for the 3 months. I mean, I have a couple friends that are in like their mid-20s or older who don't drive at all, which like... They live in places where you don't have to, but I'm like, bro, like, being able to drive is so nice. Like, it's like, it feels so free. I don't know why you wouldn't want to have a license even if you don't need to use it. I don't know.
Dash cam. So either this guy hasn't seen the evidence and is deciding to do this anyway to beclown himself, or they are knowingly lying. I'm more inclined to believe the latter because this isn't the only lie he tells. He tells multiple lies that are provably wrong based on all of the publicly available evidence.
Richardson contacted the driver, who identified himself as Tyler Shaw. A rear passenger also identified himself as Benjamin Schneider. When Officer Tonga arrived at the...
Nope, nothing
Benjamin
about it
Schneider.
being incorrect about the not
The
stopping at the
notorious
stop sign.
criminal.
Nothing about that? You know your own evidence contradicts your statement, right? This is a...
I mean, of course, like, I feel like police probably never admit when they mess up,
If you are
right?
arrested,
I don't
do
know.
not talk. Call...
Oh, wait, why that didn't go? It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's probably one of those
If
things
you
where,
are
like,
arrested, do not talk.
I don't know.
Call a lawyer. Say nothing. Cops are not your friend. Say nothing and call a lawyer.
Crime? Are you allowed to just lie about the circumstances of this? I don't know. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a lawyer.
Contact him as part of the investigation.
There's got to be a way to turn this guy up. There's got to be. I can't even focus on what he's saying because I can hardly fucking hear it. I feel like I'm taking...
I've never been arrested, but that seems like sound advice. You know, even if you didn't do anything wrong, it doesn't hurt to be safe, you know?
Like a physical at the doctor right now to check my hearing. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable how soft-spoken this guy is.
To contact Mr. Johnson because, according to Snyder, Their civil case could not proceed without an attempt at verbal reconciliation.
I mean, it's not just according to them, it's according to law, brother. Why are you making it sound like that's up for debate? It's literally part of the legal process. I don't know why he's trying to frame it that way.
184 likes, 4,800 comments. Oh no, you know it's bad. You know it's bad. Oh my god, you know it's horrible down there. Oh my god.
It's literally part of the legal process. I don't know why he's trying to frame it that way.
Police Department, do not check the comments.
Officer Broughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes
in fact, turn them
appeared
off.
Glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
You're not going to mention why they got, like, why this has happened now? Because someone put in a tip that they had heroin? Are we just glossing over that? Did I miss it? Because I can't fucking hear this guy at all? Sounds like he's talking to me from underwater? We're not going to address the fact that you have just pulled them over because someone gave you a tip that they have heroin, so now you're acting off of just like a fraudulent lie? And now you're saying, oh, his eyes looked glossy. We're not going to bring that up? Interesting. Very interesting.
It has 35,000 dislikes. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, the truth is, like, for a police department, their YouTube does not matter at all. But then it's like, why even post if you know people are gonna be mad? Like, why even... What? I mean, I would hope that they definitely get in trouble for what they did. But it's like, why even post at that point?
Officer Hawkins asked Shaw if he would be willing to participate in field sobriety testing to ensure he was safe to drive. Shaw agreed. Field sobriety tests were conducted and no signs of impairment were observed. During this same time, while Officer Hawkins was conducting his investigation, Officer Fraughton used his police service dog to conduct an open-air sniff around the vehicle. Fraughton's police service dog alerted to the presence of the odor of a controlled substance. Subsequently searched. No illegal substances were located inside of the vehicle.
Oh, it was the dog, of course.
Of the home. The female was described as wearing long, fake, curly hair. Shortly afterward, Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment.
What? Did he just tell the police that... What? What?
Emiru.
What? Yo, you, thanks for the 6 months. I mean, yeah, in some states you can shoot trespassers, right? But, like, isn't he, like, basically threatening he's gonna kill anyone who tries to, like, serve him or hold him accountable? Like, and he said that to the... I don't know. This is crazy.
Multiple officers immediately responded to the area. While en route, Officer Sumbot with the American Fork Police Department.
That seems like a really interesting thing just to get through pretty quickly. He kind of spit that out as if it was nothing, but to me that was kind of eye-opening. So he called the police because, once again, they have shown up to try and figure out a way to serve him these legal papers that he's avoiding like Garfield on Mondays.
Crazy.
And now he's...
Yo, Bakara, thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Oh, and Whispers, thank you for the 2.
Told the police,
enjoy
they're
your
here again, and I'm going to
badge.
shoot someone. Pardon?
Yeah, what the fuck?
What? That's pretty,
Dude, aren't they just making it worse? Because in the previous things that the guy who was trying to cover the case posted, they never knew that. Now, like, oh yeah, he was saying he was, you know, he's gonna kill someone if they keep doing this. Like, what? How is this real? Yo, you, thank you for the gifted.
Alarming behavior, I'd say. From everything I've seen and from everything even the police have described, there's been nothing threatening to Josh or his family's safety or anything. They are just trying every possible option to get him to take these papers as part of the legal process that they are required to do. And now he's saying that he was going to shoot one of them for this continued attempt to make contact for getting served these papers? Is that not like not like something that's a big deal? I think it probably
yeah, that
should
sounds
be.
crazy. Like I'm like confused right now. I'm like, is that not like a super? How do the police not see that as like a crazy red flag that this guy might be the one that's the problem? Oh, what the fuck?
That the prior owner, Crystal Law, had
No, we already know this part. You're just going to tell them that lie.
Sent to the store to secure the franchise location and protect company assets. Mr. Johnson further explained...
Not company assets, by the way, since they didn't pay for it and apparently don't do consignment, so it's not theirs.
Mansell. But according to Johnson, Mansell had not been paid. Mr. Johnson stated that when he arrived at the Oregon franchise location, Mansell demanded payment from Johnson and his business partner. Johnson reported that corporate representatives advised him they would address the consignment issue directly. However, Johnson claimed that Mansell continued attempting to hold Johnson and his business partner personally responsible under the agreement. Mr. Johnson also
pretty reasonable.
There were Lego sets believed to belong
Yeah,
to
like
Mansell
it's a lot of money. Of course he's not just gonna fuck
According
off.
to Johnson, they offered to return those items, but Mansell refused and continued demanding compensation.
What? Why are they taking this guy? What? Oh my god, this makes me so mad.
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize.
Wait, so he's saying that the son of the dying elderly father paid a YouTuber to harass and stalk him because he did not want his Legos back? Oh my god, how is this real? How is this real? Sammy, thank you for the 2. Oh my god.
The store, threatened to murder the man.
Threatened to murder?
Dude, the projection is crazy. What? Threatened to murder? He's the one who is threatening to murder people?
And forged signatures.
The forged signatures apparently ties into the rubber duck, so maybe that's true, but threatened to murder the manager of the store?
Wait, so the rubber ducks are actually relevant to the story? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. Well, yeah, how are... What? What did the rubber...
What? Yeah, just like Josh believed that there was heroin in Ben's vehicle, which obviously wasn't true. Huh. What an interesting thought there. What an interesting theory. So they're saying now that they offered to return the Legos and Brian refused. That would be news to me. Because even when their fucking COO or CEO, whoever it was that went on stream to beclown himself publicly last night, even he was like, we're not giving them back. or whatever. So it seems like they really don't want to give them back. I don't know if that option was ever on the table. Or maybe it's like in part 1 where Josh was like, oh yeah, you just have to give me an apology and I'll get them right back to you. So they go through all of that and then he never gives them back. He just keeps kicking the can down the road and still never gives them back.
Johnson then explained to Officer Sumbot several incidences from the previous days allegedly involving Snyder and or Snyder's affiliates. Officer Sumbot informed Mr. Johnson that Snyder stated he was present with a process server to serve legal paperwork.
Is that right? It's because the Legos they offered to return were valued between $2.5 to $5K, so it was a small fraction of what they stole. Is that it?
Oh my god, what a fucking slap in the face! Oh my god. So they were gonna return, like, basically 1 or 2% of them. Oh my god. I feel so bad for these people.
So they did offer to give them back, like, 2 sets from the collection? Like, alright, here, scram, here's 2 sets back. So that's what he's referring to?
Johnson claimed the paperwork was fraudulent. Officer Sumbot again contacted Snyder, who stated they needed to physically deliver copies of the paperwork to Mr. Johnson. Officer Sumbat's report states, Snyder told me he was following the government's instructions and that Johnson keeps calling the cops on him to avoid getting in trouble for his crimes. Snyder said this is the third time Johnson has called the cops because he thinks that if he keeps calling the cops on him, he can get away with it. But we are showing him that he's not going to get away with these crimes. Snyder
Fair. That sounds good.
To take the paperwork to Mr. Johnson, which Officer Sumbat did in an attempt to help Mr. Snyder. Officer Sumbat advised Mr. Johnson that the paperwork
time lapse. Thanks for the 5 gifted. And Eccentric, thanks for 32 months.
That originated in Oregon. Mr. Johnson stated that he had already contacted the Oregon Law Enforcement Agency with jurisdiction, which was the Kaiser Police Department, and had been told that nothing had been filed. Mr. Johnson also stated he believed this...
That's interesting, considering there's evidence that it had been filed that the officers even looked at, too.
...and declined to accept service.
Okay.
Contacted the Marion County
Yes,
Circuit
it's all
Court
for content,
in Oregon
don't
to
worry.
verify the legitimacy of the paperwork. The court confirmed that the case was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing
Yo, what's
date
up,
had yet
Retro?
been scheduled.
They'd been served? Oh shit! This is the redacted footage?
That would be
wait,
big
no.
if true. Doesn't seem true, though.
Yeah. So this is what you're trying to serve them with? Yes. That's required by the court that we have. I wish we could. So. Okay. You okay if I give these papers to them? Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Oh, do they show this with no redactions?
Okay, we might need you to fill out some documents later then, as proof of service, if that's okay, but because whoever serves him has to fill out a proof of service and might have to fill out some court papers, but
They're probably just gonna cut it off where it got redacted in the first place.
Nope, still redacted.
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll go ahead and take the full department's word on it.
he does not want the paper. So
He does not want the papers?
Here's that back for you.
Okay.
He wanted you trespassed.
While officers were speaking with the involved parties, a sign was also located on the Park Street across from Mr. Johnson's residence.
It's so interesting. If the actual order of events is he had already been served the papers appropriately, and this was all for content, it surely would have been really easy to let us see that conversation and him prove that he had already gotten the service.
Right, yeah.
But I guess we just have to trust the American Fork Police Department that they're being truthful. We know Josh is a real upstanding guy. We know he's no nonsense, straight as an arrow. So we should extend that same courtesy to the American Fork Police Department, which has already told 2 bold-faced lies in this statement already alone. Provable lies, by the way. I want to linger on that for just a minute. So the claim is that Josh declined it because he said that he had already been properly served these papers, so this was all just a content thing. Why does the officer just immediately take Josh at his word, and why can't we see that conversation if all of this is truly by the book? This doesn't debunk anything. This is still the exact same order of events that is presented in Ben's video.
Yeah.
He declines the service.
Yeah, nothing looks
I
different.
decided to look into this, and from what I can tell, you can't even do that as just like a normal civilian. If an officer is serving you legal papers, and peppers probably, you can't just be like, I don't want it. Take it back.
As far as I know, when this happens, like a police officer or proxy doing it is like, that is the service, like you're aware of it. So then he's like, oh no, he didn't want it. I don't think that's a thing, but
like,
I mean, there's
have to
different
be.
states.
Like
I don't know.
if the officer is the one doing it, there isn't a way to just be like, I'm kind of full. My tummy. I couldn't have another bite. I shan't. Now, from what I can tell, you can physically refuse to touch them, but once the officer is there and confirms everything and is attempting to serve you these papers, it then constitutes the process moving forward.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Why doesn't that count for Josh? Well, why is he allowed to just be like, oh, no, we're already way past that, so take that and scram. And then the process stops there for him. Why is that allowed? Like, I don't get it. I don't see why that's allowed for Josh when it doesn't appear to be allowed for, like, ordinary people.
Officers had already given Snyder earlier warnings. Snyder responded that he believed he was following court procedure.
Well, he
An
was,
individual
right?
commits stalking if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual. And
I bet my fart was more audible than this guy's entire speech so far.
Would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another, or to suffer other emotional distress. Utah law defines a course of conduct as 2 or more acts directed toward a specific individual, including, but not limited to, following, monitoring, observing, photographing, surveilling, or communicating to or about an individual.
Oh, yes.
It also includes
I know all about
approaching or
this.
confronting an individual, appearing at an individual's residence, contacting an individual's neighbors.
No, I get it. Like, you can definitely make the argument that it would be like stalking or harassment adjacent, but if the orders
But, like,
of
the
the
whole
legal
point
system
was-
are to serve these papers,
Yeah, that it was for
and he
court. He
constantly
wasn't just
uses
doing
the
it
police
randomly.
department as his own fucking hound dogs to prevent him from doing that, what else is he supposed to do? How else do you serve those papers? They're really fixated on that element as opposed to giving the solution of how he's supposed to lawfully serve these papers in the event that they are refusing the service. I'm genuinely, what else do? You get a process servicer, which is what he did, right? Wasn't that the legal processor? So, like, they did. So what's the other method? If you can't do email and you can't do phone, it has to be physical for whatever fucking reason, and they just keep saying, nuh-uh. What else, like, how else are you supposed to do it that doesn't somehow tiptoe on this line of what is stalking adjacent? Like, I get, like, the filming and stuff. Yeah, you could definitely make that as a stronger case, whatever. But the guy is still just refusing it. That still seems like you should be more on the side of the person trying to deliver this lawful order from the legal system to the guy who knowingly still hasn't paid out the small claims court loss that he owes. He is still dodging that, which is a crime. So I don't know, just, what's the solution then? I'd love to hear the American Fork Police Department explain it. I'd love to know. The server does it on your behalf, which is what they tried. Even the officer in this, like in the video and even in their own body cam, the officer was going to be the server, but Josh said no. So he didn't serve it, and they redacted the entire conversation suspiciously. Or not suspicious, obviously, there's nothing fishy going on there. But, like, even a police officer who went to serve it didn't successfully serve it because Josh said no. So then what do? It still counts as served at that point? Not in the system, it doesn't. How would they know? How would they know if it counts as served if the guy said no?
Because you're supposed to have,
you have to
them
submit
fill
it.
out, like, a proof
And like
of
Ben
it.
said, I think he's right. I have heard of this.
That's why
the submitter,
it's like a
the
police
actual
officer or
processor, the person
proxy.
that serves it, has to also fill it out to confirm that it has been served.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can just be like, I was close enough, so it counts. But you could make the case that it's overboard because of, like, he kept showing up. But again, without a whole lot of options, how else are you even going to attempt to pursue justice in a case like this?
That Snyder had committed the offenses of stalking and targeted residential picketing under Utah law. Snyder was subsequently arrested and transported to
emiruLIVE.
County
Yo,
Jail.
Mr. Shadow, what's
That was
up?
his first arrest.
It's crazy he got put in jail at all.
That arrest happened right after they learned that the lawsuit and everything was legitimate. So the officer got that information, confirmed it through the official channels, and then they immediately went to arrest him, by the
Put
way.
in jail for making a GoFundMe. Oh my gosh.
Directly across from Johnson's residence. The sign appeared to be either the same sign or a replica of the sign that was referenced in case 26AF02033. Officer Richardson contacted the group and asked what they were doing. The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals, later identified as Sheldon Norcross, voluntarily showed Officer Richardson his phone to display the GoFundMe. While viewing the phone, Officer Richardson observed that Norcross was actively engaged in a FaceTime call. Officer Richardson asked Norcross who it was he was speaking with, and specifically asked whether it was Benjamin Snyder. Norcross confirmed
Oh my
Snyder
god.
was on the FaceTime call.
God, he's like their boogeyman over there in Utah.
Yeah, he's like the super villain.
Of Utah's stalking statute, and taking into consideration the new actions
Insane.
from that day.
Yo,
Officer
Phoenix
Richardson
Jr., what's up?
established probable cause
Or no,
to
Phoenix
arrest Snyder for
RJ9,
an
what's up?
additional count of
I
stalking.
can't read, sorry.
Jesus.
Specifically, Richardson believed Snyder was coordinating conduct through third parties that constituted a continued course of conduct under the statute we reviewed. Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data. According to Officer Richardson's report, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized, Norcross immediately began manipulating the device.
Oh my god, he's actually going for it. He's
Holy
ulting.
shit.
That manipulating the device, it's all on camera, by the way. He went to lock his phone. That's the manipulation they're talking about on the device. Making it sound like he went in there with like a fucking magnet or something to start like tampering with it and erasing it, like he hacked into the mainframe. Because the officer fucking freaked out. He's like, don't do it. And he's like reaching for his gun or something. Don't do it. You're destroying evidence. Because he locked his phone. It's all on camera, by the way. So now it is officially, they are doubling down on that, digging their heels in, saying that he was manipulating the device, implying that he was trying to hide nefarious activity and shit.
Richardson wrote in his report, Norcross then immediately opened his phone and began manipulating it, which led myself and Lieutenant Adamson to believe he was attempting to destroy evidence on his device. At that point, Officer Richardson and Lieutenant Adamson forcibly removed the phone from Norcross's grasp after what Richardson describes in his report as a very brief altercation.
Altercation? You just took his phone and that was it. That was the end of it.
Investigation. At this time, officers did not know where Snyder was located. While still on scene,
So then they fucking
Officer
swatted
Richardson
his
received
Airbnb.
information from an American Fork resident stating that several YouTubers had been renting an Airbnb property from this citizen. Officers
This is when they raid it.
Airbnb with the intent to arrest Snyder for an additional count of stalking.
So it really seems like the entire community over here, like the Mormon community here, is all over Josh's
they're
meat to
all
like really
connected.
ride or
What the
die
heck?
for him. So now they're just snitching on them just having an Airbnb. That seems completely unprompted that one of the residents was like, there's some YouTubers that bought this Airbnb. Go raid them with guns, please, ASAP.
Yeah,
That's scary.
why the fuck would they
That's
need to
some
have their
freaky shit.
guns out on them?
Upon arrival, officers developed probable cause, including information gathered from video surveillance from the Airbnb,
What?
to believe that Snyder had entered the residence and had not yet exited. Officers then prepared a search warrant affidavit requesting authorization to enter the residence to locate and arrest Snyder. During contact with the Airbnb...
By the way, they don't do this for real stalkers. They would never do this to a real stalker. For an average normal citizen, if you have a stalker that is like a threat to your actual life, they would never go this far.
Yeah, that's
You would be
actually
dead
true.
in the ground before they ever even thought of acting.
No, there's actually literally cases of people being killed by stalkers, and then you go back and you see that they would like call the police multiple times and nothing would ever happen until they were dead.
Owner.
But oh my god, they were putting up mean signs on the patch of grass across the street from his house.
Reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the
Dude,
search
it's
warrant
so bad I forgot this was about Legos. I was like, oh man, this is like some real fucked up, corrupt shit. I forgot that this was about Legos for like 10 minutes.
David. The homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken.
How reliable.
Added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization.
We heard some like crackhead say that he thought he heard them talking about Legos they stole.
Including Lego merchandise. 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin.
By the way, this is exactly what Josh said he would do if he pursued legal action against him, if he tried to sue him. Josh said point blank, you stole the Legos then, bitch, how about that? So you have two choices. You can shut the fuck up, or we can go this route. Ben didn't shut up, and now all of a sudden they've got a search warrant here about some stolen Legos that they got from an anonymous guy who was apparently just chit-chatting, thinking that he heard them talking about the stolen Legos they have.
Reviewed and approved the search warrant. Officers executed the warrant as a knock and announce warrant. What this means is that our officers take the time to knock on the door, to present themselves as officers, and to inform anyone inside that they have a search warrant. As they were doing this, individuals came to the door. During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody. Mr. Snyder later addressed this incident in one of his YouTube videos. In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the X-ray. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Snyder's right arm during the arrest.
Oh, that's interesting.
Officers documented no complaints of arm or shoulder pain by Mr. Snyder during his detention.
Yeah, maybe he used someone else's picture or something. That is kind of odd.
All 5 individuals were transported to the American Fork Police Department. Due to limited interview room availability, the individual...
That was just a stock image? In the video, is it just a stock image?
I mean, YouTubers use stock images all the time. I don't think that's that crazy.
But the officer fails to address
I mean, you can literally see his arm get twisted in the video. Like, why would he... Like, his arm did get twisted. Like, just because he used a stock image, I guess they're trying to say, like, oh, his arm was never twisted because it was someone else's picture.
He did that in the first place. The officer said that Ben was attempting to run, or gave him an indication that he was about to run, which is why he roughed him up there, why he grabbed him in the first place. I don't know why that slips through here with him not addressing that. Is the X-ray in the Ben video just stock? That would make sense because it's not like they're going to give him an X-ray in the pen.
Oh yeah, he also was in jail.
So that would make sense if he just grabbed the stock image.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even disclosed that it is just a stock image in the video. Got it. So this is him trying to dunk on it for being misleading.
It too.
While ignoring the fact that he shouldn't have been grabbing Ben's arm like that in the first place because he wasn't attempting to run. It is provably wrong in the body cam. He is not uncooperative or giving any indication he's about to flee. So it shouldn't have happened to begin with. Can't hear the audio. Hey, take that up with the American Fork Police Department. File a complaint. Have them fire their audio engineer, or have them hire one, because this shit is abominable. I've done all I can for it. That's on them.
Agreed to interviews with Detective Nicosia. The contents of those interviews are documented in the Associated Police reports, which will be made available through a link accompanying this video.
You can't because they took down their website.
Wait.
They moved it to the Bricks and Minifig.
Wait, so they published like a report on it, then they took it down?
It's official site, I bet.
Appeared to have been acting at the direction.
They're private contractors now.
Mr. Snyder. These 3 individuals were ultimately released from the police department. Mr. Snyder was subsequently transported to the Utah County Jail, where he was booked for an additional charge of stalking.
No! Oh no, he did say that, okay. But they were trying to, like, say it was like the GoFundMe, right? No, but I think in the original video he did say that it was for stalking.
I understand that many people following this situation online have strong feelings regarding the underlying business dispute out of Oregon and allegations that individuals may have lost significant amounts of money. I recognize that people are frustrated, angry, and may feel that justice has not been served in relation to those allegations. Those concerns are understandable. I understand them, and I'm empathetic to them. And nothing in the actions taken by the American Fork Police Department should be interpreted as validating, supporting, or defending anyone involved in that separate civil...
How? How can you possibly say that with a straight face and a soft voice? At no point throughout this entire thing has a single law enforcement official from your department been anything but confrontational to Ben and his team.
They always assumed that the YouTubers must have been lying or doing something wrong, and they always trusted the other guy and never even like it was just so obvious.
A literal court victory. They continue to treat him as though everything he's presenting is fabricated and false, and instead constantly at the beck and call of Josh. How can you possibly even say that, man? What a joke. And that's a good point. The female cop that was on the scene like the first time with the like Brandon Best when he went to have like the civil discussion there, as lawfully ordered to do, she immediately regurgitated what Brandon Best was saying, instantly taking his side and supporting his account of the events. Again, the body cam betrays what you're saying, bro.
Or other conduct within our jurisdiction.
Dude, it's so
we
fucking
remain
quiet.
committed to enforcing the law fairly, objectively, and transparently.
Then get Josh's ass to court, bro. The whole thing could have been solved if he would just take the papers.
Yeah, like, if, you know, it is some kind of like, oh, it's like, you know, the transferring the ownership of the establishment, like, it's not his fault. Like, okay, then go to court, and then court will say if that's right or not. Like, what? It's just so... should just be easy. I mean, it's not easy, but why are they trying so hard to, like, prevent it from happening?
Couldn't even give him the papers. Because he has more power than your department, I guess, where he can just say no. And he still hasn't paid out the settlement. What are you talking about, man? If that's what you want, then enforce the law. Fairly. Get Josh on the horn. Get his bitch ass in here. Do you even think they still have any of the sets? I'm sure they have some of the Legos. And they definitely have records of the ones that are sold.
Mm-hmm.
So they could easily do giving back the ones they still have, because I bet they still have it. I bet they stopped selling it after a certain point because it was so contentious. So they probably still have some of it. And they could easily just pay back what they've already offloaded. So they could. They just refuse
man,
to.
I bet the Lego community
and the behavior of the
in flames
COO
right now.
or whatever on the stream from last night or
I
whatever
can't
it
even
was.
imagine how
Reprehensible. The guy he's actually a worm. He's genuinely a like delusional worm. Because so far, like, there hasn't been a good defense. Bricks and Minifigs has not had any kind of real debunking. They have been provably wrong in their statements. Now the police have come forward with their account of things, and there are multiple lies that are just brazen. So there hasn't been any good defense yet. It is all on the side of Ben. And there's been ample opportunity for the American Fork Police Department, for Bricks and Minifigs to actually start debunking things and saying, no, this is what's wrong, this is what's manipulated, here's the facts to support us instead of Ben. But they haven't provided any of that. They have none of that. So I just don't see how there's even another angle they could play at. From what I saw, Lego, the actual company, is even investigating the situation now.
Oh my god!
I wouldn't put a lot of stock into that. I imagine Lego would be far more on the side of Bricks and Minifigs than they would Ben, because I believe...
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true, but, I mean, we'll see.
Companies view people like Ben as a disruptive actor that is more of a...
But, like, they obviously don't want... Because, like, Bricks and Minifigs is kind of not... It's not, like, owned by Lego, right? Or is it, like, a... like Lego, like, I don't know, but they don't want that bad PR, obviously, but, I mean, I don't know.
Problem than a boon.
Third party? Yeah.
To their business?
I mean, if I were Lego, I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be like, bro, like, we basically let you resell our stuff, and now you're making us look fucking horrible by extension if, like, we don't do anything. I'd be fucking pissed.
So I'm pretty confident Lego would side with Bricks and Minifigs. Why did Ben make the sign for content? How much of his actions are for content? So that's the thing I was saying, like the rubber ducks and stuff, that's not smart. The sign is a real thing, though. Because Josh would never open the door for him, and also Ben can't go near it because he's been trespassed, he'd get arrested. The sign was an attempt to get him to go out and take the sign down, so that way the legal processor could serve him the papers. But he never did that, and instead just used the police. So I do think some of it was a blend of, like, solely for content, like the rubber ducks to fuck with him. But the sign one, that was, like, a real thing. And it was on a public space, so he was well within his rights to do so.
Holy shit. It's fucking ridiculous. I feel so fucking bad for that family. Oh my god. Yeah, I did see that, the Ben guy made a response to the police.
The American Fork Police Department.
Dude. He's in the white, the plain white background. Oh my god, Riff Raffer T2, thank you for the 7 months. 8 hours ago. Is he still in? I mean, is he still in Mexico? I mean, probably, right? For his own protection. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you have to watch out for yourself too, even if you're trying to help other people.
Has responded to the video I made about them.
I am the Chief of Police for the American Fork Police Department.
Oh my god, it's so bright.
I'd like to address the members of our American Fork and Cedar Hills community regarding some videos currently circulating on social media.
So now I will offer a response to their response. There's a lot of new information in this response that I've been wanting to get for a long time, so we'll go over that first. One of the main questions in my video was, why did I get swatted for stealing the Legos when this wasn't a mystery to the police officers and they knew that I didn't steal the Legos, that Josh stole the Legos.
He basically stole a $200,000 collection of Star Wars Legos.
Yeah, I mean,
but still, why did they raid my house for stealing the Legos when there's an overwhelming amount of evidence that Josh stole the Legos? When I requested the body cam footage of this to try to find the answers myself, they redacted everything, and they claimed it was to protect the victims. However, one of my friends set up a GoPro as we were getting swatted, and we caught the entire conversation on camera.
Ooh.
Included in the warrant are Legos.
For 3 months, the police department's answer has been, this redaction is important because it protects Josh, the victim of this case. However, we can clearly see that the police are looking for Legos and they saw no Legos. And they redacted this because they were embarrassed that they made such a stupid decision to swat the wrong person. They were so embarrassed of swatting my house for stealing the Legos that in all the police reports, it is completely redacted. The police department wants this information hidden so bad that they're willing to break the law to hide this from everyone. The only reason I know about it is because of the receipt I got the night I was released from jail and my friend's GoPro that was recording. So even though I've been asking them for 3 months why I got swatted, they finally came up with an answer, which is the Airbnb host told them that I stole the Legos.
During contact with the Airbnb owner, the owner reported overhearing conversations about possible stolen Legos. Specifically, officers wrote in the search warrant affidavit, the homeowner also disclosed that he could hear multiple individuals inside the residence speaking about possibly stolen Lego toys they had taken. Based on that information, officers added a request within the search warrant affidavit seeking authorization to also search for and seize possible stolen property, including Lego merchandise. 4th District Judge Roger W. Griffin reviewed and approved the search warrant.
I always like giving people the benefit of the doubt. They should have given back the Legos, I will take the police officer's word on this, but something fishy is going on here, and everything can just be cleared up if you unredact the audio and let everyone see the truth. Also, after we got raided and the police officers found no Legos, all of this footage has been redacted too. And my guess is if the police unredact this footage, we will find out the answers once and for all. While we were getting swatted, one of the police officers decided to injure me for absolutely no reason. He claims it's because I was trying to make a fast movement.
Oh my god, dark mode, thank you.
You understand me? Don't move like that.
He turned off the white background.
Everybody just chill.
But when we replay the footage, you can clearly see I was not making any fast movements. However, the police department has an answer to this.
During Snyder's detention, Lieutenant Adamson took hold of Snyder's right arm. Lieutenant Adamson later reported that he felt Snyder tense his arm, at which point Adamson moved Snyder's right arm behind his back to place him into custody.
The police department has made it clear I did not, in fact, make any quick movements like the police officer claims I did. So the police officer was lying, but not fully, because I did tense my arm. However, he lunges at me extremely fast before he even touches me. So how could he even know that I was tensing my arm before he even grabs me? That doesn't make any sense. There's only one solution. This police officer has psychic powers, and he could tell that my arm was tensing up before grabbing me. However, this makes no sense because if the police officer did truly have psychic powers, he would have known that we were not the thieves, Josh and Brandon were the thieves. So this can't be the case either. I'm trying to have an open mind with these different possibilities of what this could be, but literally the only outcome left is that this police officer injured me for no reason. However, the police have another response to this of why I must be lying.
In the X-ray image displayed by Mr. Snyder in that video, a small L is visible in the upper right-hand corner of the x-ray. The L indicates the image is that of the left shoulder. The video shows Lieutenant Adamson handling Schneider's right arm during the arrest.
Yes, the stock footage I used to show what a dislocated shoulder is, an image that's clearly not mine because I didn't go to the hospital, I went to jail, so how could I have taken this picture? But anyways, the stock image I used is of a left shoulder when my shoulder that got injured was my right shoulder. When I was editing this, I like to think highly of my audience that they would have known that this was a stock image and I wouldn't have to spoon feed every tiny detail to my audience.
I mean, I didn't even think of it. I just saw his arm getting twisted.
Another portion of my audience
I wasn't really worried about the
Police
picture.
Department that maybe I do have to spoon feed
George, Eddie, thanks for the 2
every
months.
single piece of information too. So I'm going to use this as constructive criticism, and in every single episode going forward now that I know that the American Fork Police Department's watching, I will be forced to spoon feed every single detail. As a professional slackliner,
Cares about his viewers.
dislocating
That's
my
so
shoulder
nice.
is almost a monthly
Yo,
thing for
Headbanger,
me.
what's up?
The whole weight of my arm is just on this bone.
Boon.
3 days before I got arrested, I had a really bad ski accident where I had a really bad dislocation of my shoulder, and any movement at all would have dislocated it. So I will say here, I don't think that the police officer was purposely trying to injure me. I think to a normal person, this would have been fine. But for me in particular, this was not good, but it was still unjustified. And the police officer was just making up an excuse, and now they're making up an excuse to defend it. Another thing I find shocking is the chief of police, even after reviewing the dash cam footage, says that we ran a stop sign.
Richardson initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle for failing to stop before the stop line at a stop sign and failing to stop completely at that stop sign.
Yo, what's up,
The
Oakland?
chief of police looked at this video and said, we ran a stop sign. And now he's using that to say, this was a legal traffic stop. The police officers did nothing wrong. At this point, we thought the best thing to do was to take Josh to court so he can be legally accountable for the crimes he committed. However, to do that, we are first required to serve him court papers. So we did what the law told us to do. I got a process server, and we went to his house to do this the legal way. However, Josh did not want to do this the legal way, and instead called the police on us.
Joshua Johnson contacted police and reported he was going to shoot someone as a result of the ongoing harassment. Multiple officers immediately responded to the area.
Josh was so scared of going to court that he would rather shoot us than accept these court papers. Josh's logic here is that if he can murder the process server and if he can murder me...
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like, this is just how it looks, right? It really feels like if he did shoot them, like, even though they weren't on the property, the cops would have been like, oh, well, they were stalking him, so... Like, it really feels like these cops would have been like, well, shouldn't have been stalking him. Like, I don't, that's just really how it feels. It's, like, scary. I feel bad for these
get away with
guys.
his crimes because
Like, they could have fucking died.
However, sadly for Josh, murder is illegal. And now he
You
just
would think
admitted
so,
his
yeah.
plans to the police officers. The American Fork Police should at least be arresting Josh for trying to use murder as a way to get out of court. But sadly, for some reason, they arrested me instead.
Am I being arrested? Really?
Something about
Is
this
murder
seems
really
off.
illegal, guys?
And all of the answers are in the body cam footage. However, they redacted all the body cam footage. So this is where I think if we all come together as a community, we can somehow convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this footage so we can find out why they arrested me
Shogun,
and not the
thanks for
guy
the
who
gifted.
threatened to murder me. However, the American Fork Police does not want to unredact the footage right now, and now have made up a new excuse of why I was the one justified being arrested.
Officer Sumbot contacted the Marion County Circuit Court in Oregon to verify the legitimacy of the paperwork.
Dude,
The court confirmed that the
just,
case...
like, bro, why? Like, just all the grease on his face is, like, matches the background. Or maybe actually he has green grease on his face because he's on a green screen, right? Like, you really have no way to know for sure. 'Cause it just matches, you know? Nasty, dude. Thank you for the 2 gifted.
was indeed legitimate, but that papers had already been served and no hearing date had yet been scheduled.
The police department said the reason they arrested me and not Josh this day is because they called to confirm if this was a real court case, and they said it was real. However, the papers have already been served, and now I'm doing this solely to get YouTube content. And if that's true, I would like to see footage of it. They released all the raw footage, and that part doesn't seem to be in the raw footage.
It's already been to court, or are you allowed to tell me kind of where they're at with the case?
There is no hearing date set, and there hasn't been a hearing in the case yet. All I see is the claim that was filed. I don't see proof of service or anything. A hearing wouldn't be set until a response is filed by defendant.
Okay, so the defendant needs to be served with papers before the case will, I guess, start?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you for your help. I think that's all for today. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, bye.
Right here, the police officer admits that it is March 10th.
On March 10th, 2026.
However, you can see here that Josh doesn't get served until 3 days later, March 13th. So how could Josh have already been served on March 10th if he didn't get served until March 13th? Unless Josh is a time traveler. There's only one way to clear this all up. American Fork Police Department, show me the time machine. So now they say that I have done all the check marks which constitute
thank you
stalking.
for the 5. Thank you so much.
Individual commits stalking
Thank you.
if the individual intentionally or knowingly engages in a course of conduct directed at a specific individual.
So yes, I did do an action that was targeted at a specific individual, but that's what's required by the court if I want to take someone to court. If someone steals your stuff and you go through the legal process to take them to court, it is not considered stalking. I have a right as an American to sue him.
Is reckless as to whether that course of conduct would cause a reasonable person to fear for the individual's own safety or the safety of another.
The second check mark is that if a reasonable person would be scared. The police are claiming that since this action made Josh scared, this check mark is complete. However, they have completely forgotten about the term reasonable. As we can see, Josh is not a reasonable person. This is someone who multiple times has tried to silence someone by accusing them of being on heroin.
Here's the crazy thing. They told me that they took over that location because the owners
Melissa, thank you for the 5.
using the location to fund their heroin addiction.
What?
Yeah, and that's how they took it over, and saying they had like a pigeon in there that was crapping all over the Legos, and it smelled bad, all this stuff.
This is someone who threatened to murder me just for trying to serve him papers. This is not a reasonable person. It is not reasonable to threaten to murder someone just for serving papers. A reasonable person would accept the papers, so that second checkbox does not meet the requirements. I even tried explaining this to one of the police officers early on.
What the law says is if the average person would feel unsafe by our behaviors, so I think he's feeling unreasonably unsafe, a reasonable person would not feel unsafe in the situation. Well, I can say the same thing. I feel unsafe trying to conduct business with him, and he calls the police on me to hide. I feel unsafe because of that. Because we had a 3-hour search in our car. He said we had heroin in our car yesterday. We had a 3-hour search in our car. That makes me feel unsafe. I think that's reasonable for me to feel unsafe. It's not reasonable for him to feel unsafe.
So Josh is actually the one who said he was going to murder me if I take him to court.
Thank you. Thanks for the 5.
But now, I'm the one that's being looked into for threatening to murder Josh. How does this make any sense?
Mr. Johnson alleged that Mansell had hired Benjamin Snyder to harass, stalk, vandalize the store, threaten to murder the manager of the store.
Now, let's go to the heroin claim. We got pulled over by the police.
Thank you for another 5.
They
Thank
claimed
you
that
so
we had
much.
heroin on us.
Thank you so many. Thank you.
Most of this footage is redacted, so again, there's a big mystery of what happened. Can we all come together and convince the American Fork Police Department to unredact this so we can find out the truth? However, what the police is claiming now is that they did not get a call saying that we had heroin on us. Instead, they could just tell from the second we pulled over that our eyes were glossy.
During the interaction, Officer Fraughton indicated he believed Shaw's eyes appeared glossy and expressed concern regarding possible impairment.
If we look back on the raw footage, this is what the police officer said his first interaction with us was like.
Good with these guys being able to drive?
Yeah, I think so. I didn't see anything clear as day with Tyler that I noticed.
What's the goal of...
Right now? Yeah, I was gonna scare him a little bit and let him go is all I really was gonna do.
We have
what?
Charges, or are we just tired of them being annoying?
It seems hard to take what the chief of police is saying seriously because so far almost everything he said is a lie. So the only way we can actually find out the truth is if we unredact everything. We already know the victim's name is Joshua Johnson. Why do we have to keep that protected? His name is already out there. None of these redactions are protecting anything except for the police. And now I want to acknowledge my friend Sheldon's arrest.
The group stated they were supporting a GoFundMe campaign for a dying man. One of the individuals, later identified as Sheldon Norcross, Officer Richardson then decided to seize Norcross's phone, pending the approval of a search warrant, in order to preserve potential evidence and prevent the deletion or alteration of any data. According to Officer Richardson's report, when Norcross was informed that the phone was going to be seized,
What would they need to see on the
immediately
phone?
began manipulating the device.
The police officer claims that Sheldon was arrested because he opened his phone to start deleting evidence. However, we can clearly see in the footage, Sheldon's thumb is heading towards that lock button to lock his phone. His phone was open when he pulled it out, and the phone was transitioning from on to off, not from off to on. From this response, it almost seems like the police officers didn't even watch the video. So American Fork Police Department, if I'm your teacher, here's your homework. First off, learn the facts of what actually happened. Second off, stop lying about the facts. No one's believing it. The third thing is unredact the audio that makes the police look bad. Some of the best lawyers in the United States are reaching out to me right now, so eventually this is going to get released.
Thank you.
Wouldn't you just like to get this over with sooner rather than dragging this out? The more we drag this out, the more content we get, so this only benefits me to drag this out. It doesn't benefit you. If you unredact the illegally redacted parts now, you'll win over audience support much faster. It's kind of funny, because a lot of you guys probably think I'm trying to make fun of this other cop by how he was talking.
Brother, you mind turning up the volume? Holy,
Dude,
it's actual
he was so
ASMR.
quiet. I appreciate that they boosted the volume.
I
for
cannot
this
really hear him.
reaction.
Why is he whispering?
No, I'm actually just super sick right now. I haven't been sleeping because I'm trying to get out part 3 as fast as I can. And that's caused me just to stay up all night, every night, and not sleep. And now I'm sick and have no voice. But yeah, I guess it kind of, I don't know why that police officer was talking with such a low, quiet voice, but that's why I am, at least. I wasn't making fun of him. I literally am just genuinely sick. But if you want to see part 3, subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/recklessben. Part 3 will be up there very soon. Part 2, I'm only dealing with misdemeanors, but part 3 is when they start accusing me of felonies. So it gets insane.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to
he's
crank
farming.
out videos in the meantime until part 3 is done.
Wow.
But thanks for all the support, and let's find Brian's Legos.
Damn, he's fucking farming. Where's the GoFundMe? Did they hit the goal? Oh my god. Did they? Oh no. It's crazy. They did? Oh, they're over it? Where is it? What? Oh my gosh. Wow. I mean, he is very he's very aggressive and troll-like with his methods, but I think that him and his friends should be proud of themselves for not backing down even when, they're trying to threaten them and stuff. Scrodax, thank you for 1 year. Oh wow, wait, they're pretty close. Oh wow, yeah, they're already over the 200K. That's crazy. Wow. Well, I mean, at least the family will get the money that they're supposed to get, but I mean, it really sucks about the Legos. The dad definitely spent probably decades of his life collecting and getting all those, right? Then he just wanted to sell it to make life easier for his family, like his life's hobby and passion. Oh my god, it's just so fucking sad. Dave Boy, thank you for the gifted. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Previous owner of the store.
Our Lego franchise and our life savings, along
Wait, this is from the previous owners?
with a giant collection inside the store, which was owned by Brian Mansell's father, was taken by Bricks and Minifix.
And then
Wait, so they also got fucked over? I mean, I felt bad for them too, because it seemed like they got dragged into where they might look partially liable when maybe they didn't do anything, but they got dragged in, they got fucked over too.
Reckless Ben made a great documentary about it, and it has blown up. I know you wish you'd done your makeup before that clip that's in the video, but I think you look great. And look, you even get a little Lego version of yourself. That's a little unfair. I'm just blurry in the background.
Now it's going nuts across a whole bunch of social media platforms. We want to clear up some common misconceptions and add some details.
And yes, it gets even crazier. We will save the craziest
This
detail
guy's got some,
for the end.
some
First of all,
crazy piercings.
I am not Amanda. I'm Crystal, also go by Chris.
I'm Benjamin, not Reckless Ben, the YouTube documentarian. I'm Benjamin Gorman, the novelist.
Oh, he writes books. That's cool.
I
My
managed
grandma writes
the
books
store.
We purchased the franchise in February of 2023.
At first, everything seemed to be going really well. There were problems right from the beginning, ways that BAM was not in compliance with their own franchise agreement, but the store was doing well. I loved my customers, and it seemed like everything was going to work out fine.
Then we decided to move overseas because of my work. I'm a publisher at a small press, not at Pike Publishing, and we thought we might need to be publishing from outside the US for political reasons.
When we approached BAM about selling the store, they pretended to be open to the idea, though they would later admit they had been planning this.
A guy named Brandon Best showed up on a Thursday night and demanded the keys. They threatened us with the police and promised to do an inventory and compensate us. They said they understood there was a large collection on consignment and acknowledged they were taking that over.
Because taking on the business, he takes on all that consignment liability.
Okay.
They told us the same thing they told Brian Mansell, that we could fight them, but they would drag it out and make it so expensive we would be putting ourselves into a whole lot of shit. Their words. Here's their executive product manager and director of operations, Kai McAllister, on the phone with us the night they took the store.
If we go the legal route.
First school 2023? Doesn't this guy have to be like 21 years old? Full-time 4 years. What? Yeah, this guy's like a little baby. What? What? Huh?
It's going to be a very expensive battle for you, and it's not going to be a good position for you guys to get into.
How is this guy so evil at the ripe age of like, I mean, it has to be 21. Maybe even 20? Right? Like, what? This is crazy.
There's not a whole lot
He's
of options.
evil.
If you want to go the legal
Evil
route,
kid.
it's just going to be a mess, and it's going to be expensive for you.
Yeah, so why not consider talking with us rather than leaping to this?
We jumped on the call with Crystal this morning.
And you talked with her or you talked at her?
We talked at her. If you fight this, then you're putting yourself into a whole lot of shit. It sounds like a threat, and I can acknowledge you feeling that because in a way it is.
I mean, we have no choice, correct?
Yes.
What?
Notice, that's not some franchisee. That's corporate. They want to pretend they're not involved, but they have been involved every step of the way.
Of course, this was a nightmare. We were about to move and now had our life savings taken from us. We still tried, but this loss made the relocation untenable. Eventually, we were able to find a lawyer to represent us in Utah, where BAM is headquartered.
We tried to negotiate with BAM. Just as they threatened, they dragged everything out and refused to even offer a settlement.
They've tried arguments that are so
sad.
contradictory. They make no sense when put together. They claim they own the store so they can take it, and also that they never owned the store in between taking it from us and selling it to Brandon Best and Josh Johnson. It can't be both. They claim in their newest public statement that it's all our fault they took
I just know she has little Mandalorian earrings, little Lego Mandalorian earrings. That's so cool. Oh, but that makes me sad too because you can tell that she also loves Legos and then she got fucked over by these shitty fucking evil people.
Mansell's father's collection because they don't allow consignments. But they were always aware of the consignment. They promoted it when it was on the news and in the newspaper a year before they took our store. And the franchise agreement expressly allows consignment in contradiction of their newest statement.
And we've since learned they were saying all kinds of crazy things about Chris behind her back, both to customers and to employees, which are slanderous, to try to blame this on her. And once they even tried to say we never owned the store in the first place, which would mean all their claims that it's the previous owner's fault would be lies. And I guess that you were unpaid labor for 2 years?
So yes, we are suing them.
And yes, they are trying to make it so expensive, you'll have to give up.
If you fight this, then you're putting yourself into a whole lot of shit.
We believe the best way to get Brian compensated is to win our lawsuit and include the full value of his collection in the damages so that he can then be compensated.
Hello? What the hell? I did not lag at all. Like, everything was working fine. I could see chat the whole time, too. That was weird. Yo, AXB, thank you for the 2 months. I think that was just like a random hiccup. Nothing even happened with my internet. It was weird. Anyway.
And help us.
And hold these horrible people accountable.
It's the Mormons.
Please donate to our GoFundMe so that we can afford to fight them to the bitter end.
And if you can't afford to donate, we get that. Please share this so that more people see this.
We've learned they've done this to other franchise owners, and we want to hear from other people Bam has treated them
that's what I was saying. There's no way this is the first time, especially if they feel so comfortable being so shitty to these people. Yo, Laura, thank you for the 13 months. Hello. Hello.
Please don't harass the employees at the various franchises. This is not their fault. However, I was required as a franchise owner to pay 6% of my sales in monthly royalty fees to corporate. So do with that information what you will. Please do whatever you can to encourage corporate to come to the table, settle with us.
I mean, 6%'s a lot because they're also paying a percent to the original sellers of the Legos, right? I mean, it's kind of high, but I wouldn't know enough about franchises to know if that's normal or not.
Through us, Brian Mansell, so that they can try to make this right. If
like,
they
I wonder
settle,
how much like a franchise, like McDonald's or
and if
something
we're allowed
pays.
to tell you after that settlement is reached,
we will. So follow us wherever you're seeing this, and then go back to doing business with them once they've re-earned your trust.
Because Lego should be fun. And I want to personally thank all my former customers who've left comments of support for us and told me about their positive experiences during the time when we owned the store. That means the world to me, and I miss you all so much.
Oh, and the wildest thing is in the comments.
What? What is that supposed to mean? The craziest new development? Someone reached out and told us, and this is just an allegation, that Josh Johnson, the other guy who bought the store after it was taken from us, has been going around telling people we were selling heroin. Wow, that's crazy. So everyone's doing heroin who doesn't like Josh Johnson? Wait, am I doing heroin? Is Charlie doing heroin? Oh my god, this would fit a pattern when you watch Reckless Ben's video and see that he was also falsely accused of possessing heroin. And considering the way he was treated by the police, it's pretty scary. So please consider donating to our GoFundMe. So this is probably a separate one, right? Oh, well, wow, theirs is also almost at the goal. Theirs is even closer to the goal than the original one, actually. Wow, well, good for them. Good for them. I mean, hopefully they'll be okay. I'm sure a lot of people will be following this whole situation, even though it'll probably take a couple years at least. Wow, bro, it's fucking crazy. Wow, that was bro, I've been live 3 hours doing nothing but this. Oh my god. This is fucking insane, man. I just played Lego Star Wars yesterday. Wow, it already went up almost 1,000 since I first opened the page. Man, I mean, people are pissed, dude. I mean, you guys know how it is. I'm sure there's a chance that all the bad actors in the situation, there's a chance that they get away with it for sure, but there's definitely gonna be people who don't forget. So it'll probably haunt them for the rest of their lives, even if, you know, they end up not having to give anything back. But man, oh my god, what a shitty situation. My god. Ugh. It's just disgusting shit. Like, this is something that could have been so easily resolved too, I feel like. It's just weird greed, I guess. I don't know.